Reveille, reveille.
Look at us now, tip to tip.
Ooh, Jesus.
Shout out to Morning Kombat.
Do you want a margarita? Yes! My God!
To us, doing what we love. It's time to bang. Oh, yeah, born to be down. You think we learn all these lessons before now. It's Morning Kombat. You do just get it. It'll keep you copacetic, and it's back in your face whole Monday, November 24th, 2025, with an absolutely loaded show live and direct from Metal Arc Studios here in Manhattan, recapping UFC Qatar. I just met her. And, of course, the loaded Ring 4 DAZN pay-per-view. Brian Campbell on here by way of the Hartford suburbs. And, of course, the man across from me, salt and pepper, a lot of salt.
A little bit of tahine thrown in there, too.
From Washington, D.C., it's Luke Franklin Thomas.
What's up, fuckers?
Is your first name Luke, or is it something longer?
No, it's just Luke.
Like lukewarm?
Yeah.
Or...
Amazingly, both all of my siblings and me and I, I'm not sure even more how to write or talk.
Neither of them were born in this country.
Well, they all have biblical names.
Yes, which is ironic.
Quite
Don't
ironic
you think?
because
the
the Bible doesn't dictate much of my life these days.
Yeah, I think that explains a lot of it. But I'm happy to have you on this show.
Thanks,
I'm happy
dude.
to be here. We will get into your DMs to close, pick through the kernels of my Shiite to see if Luke can
I hate it when you say that, by the way.
be emoted at all. There's a lot of things I say that you hate, like when I'm like, or am I or a Bali, right? How about Mikatek this weekend, right? Yeah.
So he was putting
Yeah.
fucking hands on people.
Yeah.
Golly.
He made the Joker swallow his pride. He was all right. Hey, enough 90s alternative radio. Let's tell you about a fantastic show.
You're being cumbersome.
Do have it too. Like and subscribe to what we've got going on here on the Best Damn Combat Sports Show, period. You can subscribe to our extended YouTube channels where I'll be back on YouTube this week. I get interviews with Pantoja, Josh Van, so check that out on the BC Experience. That was once a thing. Luke, you and Obama finally sitting down this week?
Obama?
Yeah.
No. Yo, mama, though.
Okay. You and
oh, come on!
No.
I mean, it was juvenile and stupid, but that's the point.
You and Big Mike having a big sit down or what?
Big Mike?
It's like a political joke, you know.
Oh, no, I don't think so. No. But you know what I'm going to do this week on my Substack? I'm being serious about this.
Okay, be serious.
Because I double checked. Could you put them all together? You can. I'm going to rewatch Patchy Mix's run through the Bellator Grand Prix.
Yes.
And dude, I was reviewing the footage last night. Damn, dude, there's a difference. I don't know what happened, but there's a difference.
Some people think that he was fighting smaller opponents in Bellator who are maybe a division higher than they should have been, and now that he's fighting full-fledged Bantams. I don't know if I support
There
that.
is something to be said for that, but then he knocks out Stotts, inside of a round with a vicious step-through knee, and it's like,
Yikes.
dude, what the fuck? Anyway, yeah.
Thank you very much for that. I'd like to introduce you to our merch, by the way, morningcombat.shop. We have November exclusives that are available to you right now ahead of this holiday season. The Dripping Blood logo won't be here forever, so get it now in t-shirt, get it in hoodie, and how about the Combat Buddies poster? Average Joe Art Romero, one of the better people around, has designed this. You can get it in a t-shirt. You can get it in an autographed poster form. Head on over to morningcombat.shop, mix and match your colors. Plenty of evergreen items for the holidays. Also, stay tuned. This Wednesday to Sunday, we'll have a special Black Friday announcement as well, so check that out. But head in there right now. Get your abuela outfitted before it's too late. She's had a hell of a run. She deserves this. Please do that. Let's say hello to the third member of our team. He is a bong enthusiast, producer, director, podcaster in his own right. Here on a one-way ticket from a horned Ozzy's bag, it is Long Island Luke, main card minute, Nosita. And LIL, A, great to hear from you. B, how about that prop quiz championship you got, bro?
You versus Jose Young's coming. I just dropped a trailer on Instagram if anyone wants to get hyped about it. I mean, it's going to be a banger of a matchup.
Yeah, it is.
Also a pretty good weekend this weekend, guys. Had a good betting weekend. Qatar went perfect.
What'd you hit?
I had a 4-leg parlay on Qatar. It was Almabayev, Ozdemir, over 2.5 in the co-main, and Arman, plus 260. Hit that. Hit Fight Does Not Go the Distance, plus 115 on Oral by Hermanson.
Wow.
And
that was a plus.
yeah, dude, me and Gaff were talking about that pre-fight. Like, I don't know why this is a plus. Jack Hermanson
that was-
dropping down weight.
Jesus, that was
coming
free
off that
money.
knockout.
Free
Yeah,
money. It's
Yeah.
like ass from the heavens, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Shout out.
All right, there you go. Luke, also, I do have to make a mea culpa on this show.
Oh, what happened?
I was very emotional during our last episode, or high, your choice of going on there. But I ultimately have nothing against mango, so I'd like to apologize to all you mango
Did you get
enthusiasts
eaten
out
up
there
for shitting on mango?
for looping them in the unnecessarily looping them in the melon department. You guys are right.
Oh, I see your
I
classification
actually am
issues.
neither hot nor cold on mango. It's fine. Mango's fine, but don't be messing with melon with me. I mean, pickles, dude. Come on, they're cucumbers in disguise. I can like Crocodile Dundee.
They're cucumbers
I could feel
bathed
that out
in acid.
Yeah, I could feel that out a while.
Pickles are amazing, and in fact, one of the big problems
No,
with
they're
American
disgusting.
sandwiches is they don't have enough salty, briny, acid, kind of fermented vegetables that they should have. That's one of the big things.
Pickles
missing.
are a cesspool of a food. All right.
Again, I cannot tell the difference between you and a Billy Goat in terms of the
Okay,
things
so I
you
did
eat.
want to put that out there.
Did people come
Also-
after you for that?
Yes, and they were right. You know,
Yeah.
they were right. Also, I took my kids a little begrudgingly yesterday, not because I didn't want to hang out with them, but because I didn't think there was going to be a need for a remake of The Running Man. I was wrong. Movie rocks.
It's
dude.
good?
It's real good. So here's ultimately why it's good. No spoilers. The Arnold movie is over the top 80s, like you would expect. This movie with Glenn Powell, is that his name? The
Yeah,
actor?
the handsome Top Gun
Yeah.
dude, whatever.
It is a lot more, 90% closer to the Stephen King novel that this is based off of.
Yes, the original
And
Running
it's-
Man movie is very different.
It's completely a dystopian view that is parallel to the times today of the influence of propaganda media and where whoever controls the network TV controls the politics type of idea, which is very present in our world today.
Yeah.
It's almost a message, you know what I mean, against that. I thought it was well done.
Okay,
I have
I
to
want to
say.
see that. I also want to see Predator Badlands. I've not seen that one
See,
yet.
that scares me like it's not going to be well done. But-
You don't like the Yautja?
No, and I watched the previews for the upcoming movies, dude. Everything is vicious. There's like a movie with a chimpanzee that starts killing the family, and then there's
Oh, that's what I want.
yeah,
to
there's
see.
a lot of like weird ass.
Have
shit
you ever
going
seen
on.
that? I think we've talked about it on the show. We'll get the show started here in just a second. But
No,
have
we
you
won't.
ever seen? It's on Netflix. The Night Comes for Us.
No, I have not.
You ever seen that, Long Island? No. You don't like gore?
No, I do.
No, he
just
voted
saying
for-
I've never seen it.
He voted for Bush in 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro, that movie is not for the faint of heart. I mean, it is.
that's the direction it's going. Okay.
Yeah, it's an incredible movie, but I mean, the first real big fight scene is in a butcher shop. If
Yeah.
that indicates what
Kind
you're up
of,
against.
kind of reminiscent of that, how that hooker got slain Saturday in Qatar. You know what I mean?
And cut open.
Yeah.
He got fucked up.
Yes,
proper.
he did. Hey, that's a good transition point. So why don't we hit it right now with topic number 1 today? Yes, we're here to break down all things UFC Qatar, croissant, with, of course, a lightweight main event as Arman Tsarukyan, despite a 19-month layoff and, of course, the back injury that pulled him out of what would have been January's title shot against Islam Makhachev. Well, he made it just after round and became the number 1 contender for the new champion, Ilia Topuria. In the first trip, like I mentioned, in a long time, looked like an absolute shredded monster and complete fighter as Arman Tsarukyan scores a dominant second-round submission over number 5 Dan Hooker. After the fight, Arman said, send me that contract for January. He's ready to be the first headlining bout in the Paramount UFC era against Topuria. So, Luke, after watching how easily your Armenian brethren dispatched the well-traveled but battle-tested Hooker, is there even left a possible argument against the idea of Tsarukyan stepping forward past Patty, past Gaethje, past whoever else you got, and setting up a very sexy Topuria-Tsarukyan matchup next for the title?
I mean, this is not I would imagine we're going to get everyone on board with this one.
Sure.
It is quite obvious that the best fight you can make at 155 is Ilia Topuria versus Arman
Let's go.
Tsarukyan.
A veritable sex fest, if you will.
Yeah, that's the fight.
Yes.
That's the one. There can be other reasons why other fights that involve Ilia Topuria, as we all well know, can be box office friendly or otherwise have some redeeming value. Paddy Pimblett would have some redeeming value as a grudge match. Some interesting fights about the elements of the fights themselves, but otherwise, not necessarily the most meritocratic title shot, nor do I think that he would be the most competitive. Justin Gaethje kind of hanging around for one last opportunity. I certainly respect what he's done, and I take seriously what he can do, but also relative to Ilia at this point seems a bit outmatched. Arman does not. Arman does not seem outmatched, or at a bare minimum, seems like he's got the most amount of threat. Dude, that was the best performance by Arman Tsarukyan in his career by a million miles, because two things happened. Not only did he show you what you already knew, he can wrestle, he can scramble, he comes in pretty good shape. You saw all examples of that. But here was the difference, BC. Number one, just on that level, on the skills that you knew he had before, they were applied much more methodically and much more carefully. He didn't have to resort to them. He chose to use them and even had similar setups, not for the same kinds of attacks, but similar setups about isolating limbs with an underhanded grip on Dan Hooker. A much more methodical approach in every way. And then on top of it, he's adding positional advancement, the submission attempt, and the success of it by itself. And then on the feet, BC, couple of things I didn't necessarily love, but in general, setting it up well, using it to chain in the wrestling on its own, putting combinations together, putting hand and feet combinations together.
And he wasn't there to test his 5-round cardio. He was there to finish him.
He attacked Dan Hooker. He attacked him. Where did Dan Hooker have more success than Arman Tsarukyan in this fight? And the answer is nowhere.
Just tattoos.
Just tattoos. Nowhere. Nowhere. Dude, we knew. We'll talk about Ian Garry in just a minute. But there's certainly value to incremental growth of your game. As long as you're adding skills over time, this is what matters. But there were pieces of Tsarukyan's game that were missing that you didn't see. Striking comfortability, more than just an overhand. Again, being more methodical with ground and pound, positional advancement, and submission attempts. And you got all of that in this
fact that I predicted Tsarukyan would run through him, and the fact that the odds ballooned to almost where he was an 8-1 favorite by the time the fight started still didn't prepare me for how impressed I would be of, I want to say, the ease of what he did against Hooker. And that's because of everything you said. He put the complete game together. And if you're going to be out for 19 months in an unplanned situation where suddenly people are questioning, your care level, your toughness, all these things, well, what do you do at that time? Called in Khamzat Chimaev as part of that time to improve his game, brought him into his team in his corner. And we saw that. I want to get your take on that. But first, let's listen to Arman talking briefly here about the impact of Chimaev.
Your last submission win, I think, like 8 years ago, but today we saw a new one. Is that Khamzat effect? Did you guys train for submission or just it's randomly?
Khamzat, when Khamzat's in your corner, wrestling is in another level.
I mean, Luke,
okay, thank you.
Ultimately, his striking was at another level, which is part of this. But if he's going to be even more dangerous on the ground, not just wrestle, not but just position, but going to be able to set you up to get you out of there. He had very violent setups to get to the position, to get the finish that he did. This Chimaev effect has to be a big boom.
Positional advancement, did you notice? Again, so we talked about Islam Makhachev last week against JDM, taking that scoop grip, trying to isolate the arm away from him.
Sure.
He was doing it for Kimuras and other things, right? But here in the case of Tsarukyan, what was he doing it for? He's pulling a limb out to that side because what he's trying to do is set up various forms of positional advancement, to get him to reach on the inside. The point I'm trying to make is the other one I wanted to set up. The positional advancement was tied to going to crucifix. Well, dude, who has one of the best moves to crucifix from side control in MMA?
Zhang Weili.
Zhang Weili, but also Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah.
So isolating that limb, and then you saw him get into crucifix. Now, he didn't hold it as well as Khamzat. He didn't need it, really, was the other point. But to the point you raise, there's a certain level of intensity that comes with having that guy both in your corner and your training camp, and then individual skills. We saw Tsarukyan, for example, in the Joel Alvarez fight, stay in his guard for the most part, but still pound him out. He's such a physical beast on top that that's still a thing he can do. But when you can do that, plus move to other positions, now you're creating offensive dilemmas for your opponent. Do you want to surrender the pass? Do you want to surrender the submission? Do you want to surrender having a worse spot for ground and pound? He's going to make you pick one of the three and then just go the other way, creating dilemmas. This is the kind of sophistication to a game I've been waiting for from this fucking guy. I've been waiting for it, and he did it brilliantly.
Speaking of dilemmas, he was hotter than Kelly Rowland in the Nelly dilemma video.
Who
in his
weirdly was trying
performance.
to text him. You've ever watched that? She was in the Excel program on the phone. It's like, I don't think texting this motherfucker spreadsheets.
Looked like Larry Hughes may have tagged that by their body language in the video.
Probably.
I love you. You know what I love is the idea here of Topuria versus Tsarukyan. Long Island Luke, you have future odds to share with us, do you not?
Yeah, -200 Topuria, +170 Tsarukyan.
Does that seem about right?
Yeah, fine.
All right. Well, we had contact between these two because in Qatar this weekend was not only Hasbullah, by the way, who's taking over the world again, Luke. There was Ilia Topuria, who was in the corner of his brother Alexandre and was backstage. And not only did we have a run-in between the two fighters, a continued back and forth that got spicy enough that you better believe now's a good time to call on our friends from Cuervo for a little something we call shots fired. And of course, Shots Fired is brought to you by Cuervo. Now is a great time to enjoy the tequila that invented tequila. Do we have the video at all? Yeah, so here's the video of the two of them crossing paths backstage. There's Tsarukyan on the left. And, you know, it looked very cordial. It looked like the beginning of the Ian Gary Chimaev video that we're going to talk about in the next segment.
A little more awkward, that
It
one.
looked a little bit cordial there. But Ilia took that cordial meeting and piled on social media. Let's see the tweet. Arman, every time we see each other in person, you freeze up like a scared duck with no idea what to do. You know I handle you however I want. I fight whoever the UFC chooses. And remember, I slapped you and you just laughed. Then you go around acting like a gangster. So keep going. You're on the right path. Just a few levels below me, kid. Luke, let's show this video one more time. Because sometimes your boy La Leyenda can, you know, be a little superlative here, be a little over the top. Is that a slap, Luke? Is that a slap?
Didn't look like a slap to me. No, that looks like a European hello.
Yeah, I mean, why not just kiss him here? Here's the response from the Armenian Hulk, though, on socials. Bro, you touched my neck like we were taking a family photo, and now you're calling it a slap online? The clip is clear. Your insecurity's even clearer. I don't need to act tough for Twitter. My work is inside the cage. If you want to know what a real slap feels like, go to Mexico on New Year's Eve. No, sorry. I'll be happy to educate you. See you soon. El Pato. Does that mean the duck?
The duck.
Look, there's a little petty cringe back and forth there, but there's some shots being fired. We're building toward a sexy-ass matchup in just about every way. Do you think this will also be an intense build like the fans want?
Just consider what Tsarukyan did on Friday where he's headbutting Dan Hooker.
Got lucky that you're right. I didn't see it when we recorded Friday's show. When I watched it, I was like, oh, dude, that's aggressive.
Yeah, he got lucky that nothing really bad happened there. So it tells me he might still have some judgment issues. But we're going to look past that because he looked so great on Saturday afternoon / night. Yes, I mean, I think Tsarukyan and Topuria, you want to make the fight for any number of reasons. Style, meritocracy, who's a real threat to the title, all these kinds of things. But you know both of them are probably going to sell the fight as best they can. There's going to be a limit. I do think what that means for the American audience. You have two non-Americans, both English speakers, but non-Americans here.
But it's time to use the Paramount vehicle to
totally
convince American fans.
So I mean, I think we should have some managed expectations about like what kind of box office return that actually gets us.
Sure.
But just putting that to the side one more time, it's one of the best fights you can make in the sport. It's clearly the best fight at 155 pounds, and no doubt about it, Arman Tsarukyan turned into from a caterpillar into a butterfly, I thought, on Saturday.
And I know they bumped up Paddy Pimblett to number 5. I just don't think now is the time. Let's give Pimblett, who looked great against Michael Chandler.
If that's the case, then let me ask. If we're going to bypass Pimblett, which, by the way, I'm completely okay with, what do you do with him in that instance?
I don't know if Gaethje will do it because he seems to be title shot of retirement.
Let's assume he won't. Long Island?
You can go Max Holloway.
If you're gonna give that rub to Arman.
See, Gaethje would be perfect for
and
Pat.
Gaethje says no to Patty. What do you do with Patty?
I don't think. I put it this way: if they book Ilia Arman, I don't think Gaethje's saying no to Patty. That's the only fight that keeps you in the relevancy here. Because if
he's saying
you don't think he walks?
No, I don't. I think he's bluffing.
You think he's bluffing?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to pull up the rankings.
I mean, that'd be imagine if you did a big ass main event in Europe with Patty. And
imagine
Gaethje.
he's not bluffing. Like I'm trying to figure this out. What name do you actually go to at that point with Patty?
I'm pulling up the rankings. Let me look.
I mean, the point is, you could plug in Patty now, but why wouldn't you want to build it up given their backstory? Tsarukyan's the hot thing of the moment. Everybody's like, automatically, that should be the fight. Make that fight. Make that fight.
I fully agree with you, but here's the problem that I think everyone should now focus on. Because we don't have a great answer for what you do with Patty in the event.
Well, we will get an answer. What do you got, Long Island Luke? Give me a name. All right.
BSD is probably the only person
Right.
trending
There's no
upward
answer.
that way. Yeah.
For this reason, I'm a little skeptical that Arman is next. I think they're going to make something that promotionally makes more sense than this one. Dude, this was Tsarukyan clearly stating he's the guy. There's really no two ways about it. But the promotional side of things here, in terms of the other pieces and them trying to, they probably want this Ilia reign to last as long as it possibly can, right? So do you feed him a Gaethje up front, January, Paramount?
Well, they would have if Gaethje was healthy. He's not healthy
So
for
he
January.
can't make the January one.
No, he can make March.
March. That changes things.
Which they may just wait and do Ilia Gaethje in March and really slow build this. Because this, I think Tsarukyan's rise this weekend takes the pressure off of cashing in on Ilia versus Islam, which I was obviously always pushing for 1 versus 2. It's just that Islam looked so dominant on the size and wrestling side. He's never coming back down and weight again. And Ilia's got a couple killers in front of him, so that he's got to kind of prove himself against first and can continue to build his star.
Do you make Tsarukyan fight one more time?
No.
I don't think you do.
Not when he's red hot. You got to capitalize on who's red hot.
What
at
if
the
they said
moment.
Tsarukyan Gaethje?
There's no need? What's the need
I'm
there?
just saying.
I mean, the good news is that Tsarukyan wants to stay busy. The fact that he was like, no questions asked, 2-month turnaround, give me the contract, I'm ready.
I love that, by the way.
I love that. I think you would get some buzz. So I got to ask you this question. Let's not talk about the version of Arman who pulled out of the fight against Makhachev in January. Let's talk about this version of him today. Is he a bigger threat to Topuria's lightweight title, or if Islam was still champion?
I'm going to say he's a bigger threat to Topuria. That's clearly, I'm making a broad set of assumptions.
Size difference, is that ultimately?
Partly, I think the size difference is going to be a problem. I mean, we've seen Arman and Islam, granted, many years ago, but you could see at that time, Islam was ahead of him. I would imagine in terms of overall technical skill, that's still going to be true. He's going to have a greater variety of things, whereas I think Arman's going to be the more scrambly athletic wrestler type, but that only gets you so far. With Ilia, he clearly is very, very skilled, but we've really never seen him pushed by this is the issue. We've really never seen Ilia pushed against a ranked guy. Other parts earlier in his career, maybe, but against a ranked guy who can wrestle as well and as physically and as consistently as Tsarukyan can.
Do you agree with Tsarukyan's tweet that Ilia has never been a top guy in his prime?
No.
In the opponent's prime, I'm saying.
A top guy in his prime.
In his opponent's prime. That you're getting an aftermarket Volk, an aftermarket Holloway, an aftermarket Emmett.
Dude, this is the same fucking argument that they make. They made it with John Jones. John Jones beat an old Shogun. No, the fuck he didn't. He beat an old Rampage. He beat an older Rampage. He didn't beat an old Rampage. This is what a transcendental figure does in the division. They wipe out the existing establishment. They just come in there and then take it to pieces. So it's, to me, a hollow argument because this is precisely what the very good ones do. Could it be boosted by getting a guy in his 20s on his resume who's a top contender? Clearly, that would be great. No doubt about it. But trying to poke holes in his resume, like he's feasting on... Patty is feasting on guys. What's the age of his... You know what? Hold on.
I mean, Patty went King Green to Chandler
Hold
to
on. I'll tell
Tony
you what
Ferguson.
it is. I'll tell you what it is. I'm going to use this topology
I mean,
tool.
that's really my argument against Patty getting it now when you don't need to rush Patty right now. Give him another name he can prove himself against.
Okay, so when he fought Michael Chandler, which was the most recent one, Michael Chandler was 38. When he fought King Green, which was the one before that, King Green was almost 38. He was 37. Hold on. Tony Ferguson, need I say more? He was almost 40 when they fought, 39
That's
in
why
10
you don't
months.
do that next.
Hold on. Jared Gordon, who, by the way, has an argument for beating him, was almost 35 years of age. And after that, we're not even talking about people who are relevant. That, to me, is feasting on elderly. That is different.
I'm with you on all that. Well, I hope we get it next. We got a hug and a tiny slap backstage. We did get a face-off, though. The problem is it's not with the real Ilia. It's with the fake one. Did you see this, Luke?
No.
Ilia, why are you running?
I will take your lights out in the first round.
You ever seen that dude? He does the Ilia impression all the time on Instagram.
I have not seen that.
Oh,
no.
I mean, he doesn't look like him at all.
He does Islam too, and I saw him switch between the Ilia and Islam impressions. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, he
Is
does
he-
Chimaev
is
too.
he good at it?
Yeah, he's good at all the
The doggy styles
yeah,
and all that?
yeah, for sure. Luke, let's have a quick conversation about the 35-year-old Dan Hooker who snaps a 3-fight win streak, 2 of them by split decision, that put him in this spot, number 6 rank. I think I said number 5 earlier. In terms of where he might go next, and right after the fight, the next morning, he sat down with Oscar Willis of the Mac Life and was very honest about where he stands right now.
Dan, your future goals.
Well, you've got to face the cold hard truth, so you're probably never going to get hands on the title, but I'm going to hang around as long as I possibly can and ruin as many people's hopes and dreams as I can, because if I can't have nice things, no one can.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
He would go on to say that he wants Moicano next because they both suck. I could talk myself into fights like him against Gaethje, although there's not a lot to gain there for Gaethje, right? Him against anyone action-wise, but will he ever be in a fight as big as this again, in your eyes?
No, probably not. Unless he comes in on short notice, which can change things. If guys ready, they can do stuff like this. But absent that kind of unusual and quite rare statistical anomaly, no. It's over.
Okay. So, like, does he end up in a BMF fight, or is he just that tough B-side that's going to try to spoil it for people the rest of the way?
Yeah. But, also the other part about this, he's taken a lot of damage over the course of his career.
Yeah.
And he's fought tough fucking guys, too. Like, Dan Hooker's not fought
I mean,
chumps.
when he was at his very best against Poirier over 5 rounds, dude, maybe he poured out all the elite left in that fight, even though he's
getting
had
stretchered out.
3 straight losses and then 3 straight wins and now a loss. Like, he's bounced back. He's rejuvenated, but he's never been that elite version of him that he was against Poirier, to be fair.
No, that's right.
Sometimes you leave it in the cage.
Sometimes you do. I think he did as well.
All right. But a breakthrough performance for Arman Tsarukyan. UFC has a difficult decision to make at lightweight. Topic number 2, they also have a difficult decision to make at welterweight after a co-main event over 3 rounds in which Machado Garry didn't quite live up to his prediction that he would knock out former champion Belal Muhammad in the first round. Yet, Machado Garry looks strong overall in picking apart the former champ and making his wrestling threat virtually non-existent here en route to a unanimous decision win, 30-27 on 2 of the scorecards. That's how I scored it, although obviously the rounds were close. He hurt Belal multiple times, and afterwards, through a multiple different sets of versions, Ian Garry's cut some steamy promos, a little cringe at times, a little aggressive, but this is what you want to do in this spot. And basically said, if anyone can stop the takedown express that is welterweight Islam Makhachev, it is Ian Garry. So, Luke, considering the bottleneck we have atop this division with everyone from Kamaru, Shavkat, Morales, and Pratesh calling for, thinking that they could be next for a title shot, did Ian Machado Garry do enough to cut the line, considering he takes on tough opponents short notice? He's been more active than people like Shavkat. Is there an argument to make for Ian Garry next for the welterweight champ?
Hope not.
Hope not.
I hope not. I mean,
Meritocratically, cringely, where are you going with this?
The answer is, when you ask a question like this, the answer is on some level, of course, yes. Because you can't be this close to the title and then be that far away from it simultaneously. So when you're beating the number 1 contender and you did it, pretty convincingly, and you fought, for the most part, pretty well doing it, yeah, of course you're in proximity.
He didn't take a lot of damage. 1 cut under his eye.
Yeah. Nevertheless, though,
I mean, look, I wanted a little bit more. When he had Belal hurt, I wanted to see him step on the gas. He didn't. But short of that, he showed a complete game across the board.
No.
No?
No.
No?
Okay. What I'm not going to do on today's show is sit here and bag on him.
Or talk about Layla.
Well, that's your thing, pants around the ankles.
First of all, it's a great rock song,
Yes.
right?
Mr. Captain Pants Around
I
the...
think that's very unfair.
Dungarees to pants on the ground, pants on the ground.
Pants on the
All
ground.
right. He fought very well. He is very, very skilled. He is, to a point you make, certainly well-rounded, but what he really has is a very, very difficult combination. He's rangy, he's fast, he has great footwork and lateral movement, and he has dynamite takedown defense.
And supreme confidence. Supreme confidence.
But that takedown defense, I'm just saying, like, we're actually wrapping up with people. It's pretty incredible how good his takedown. I mean, Belal Muhammad got 0 fucking takedowns and was averaging almost 2.5 per 15 minutes heading into that fight.
Although he leaned on his Canelo hands a little bit too much.
Yeah, but dude, those takedown attempts got nowhere close. It wasn't even like he got him to wrestle to his hands.
Sure.
He got nothing. I mean, the takedown defense of Ian Garry is phenomenal. And that's a tough guy. Think about that. You're tall, rangy, fast, and you have dynamite takedown defense. That's a tough guy to beat.
He's got thick legs. I'd like to see him kick more. When he kicks, he takes
I thought his kicking was pretty active this fight.
I want a constant threat of a head kick.
I mean, he was definitely throwing him. He was throwing him the teeps, the rear leg teeps, the push, he was doing the oblique kicks to a degree. He was definitely going high a little bit. He could have done a little bit more to take out some of the wheels maybe, but he didn't want to give up the takedown too easy to Belal. Here's the problem with this guy's game, and it drives me kind of nuts. And this is why I really liked what Tsarukyan was able to do against Hooker. Granted, different caliber of opponent. I think it's worth pointing out. But the guy more recently has been getting, in the case of Garry, nothing but decisions, including some split ones. His game is built for winning rounds, and he does not produce enough meaningful offense that creates fight-ending scenarios. And even in cases where he's able to achieve a level of positional dominance, his finishing mechanics are so poor he can't close the show. This is going to cost him in the end. This is going to be his undoing. I am telling you now.
So when you say undoing, do you mean dismantling or undoing being similar to the Shavkat fight? Fought very well. Almost gets more credit for that loss than any other win. Will not get stopped, but also will not win.
I think the Shavkat fight is a prelude of things to come, which is to say, you cannot watch that Shavkat fight and say, oh, Ian Garry's not good. Yes, he is. He's very good. But one thing I want to say is, people were like, oh, that's a loss for Shavkat that made somehow Ian Garry look good. I would actually argue now it's the reverse. Look at who Ian Garry has beaten. Shavkat taking him down twice when Belal could get nothing, while Shavkat was not 100%. Actually, pretty good in the end there by Shavkat. But the point I'm trying to make is exactly what you outlined. Namely, he can be competitive. He can be stubborn. I think Islam would not get every takedown that he wanted, not by a million miles. This guy is going to be tough. But you cannot let your opponents hang around round after round after round, even when you've got some clear advantages, when you're going up against a guy as good as Islam, pound for pound, top level guys. If you let them have that much opportunity against you, brother, they're going to take it. And it drives me fucking nuts. So I'm not going to tell you that he's not good. He's good.
The lack of that upper level gear
it's
of
the
finishing.
last 10%.
Yes.
And if he doesn't iron that out, it will limit him forever.
But does he deserve it is another argument. Before we completely make that argument, I want to get the first sound out of Ian Garry. This is his shooting his shot at Islam and including himself in the extension of that original rivalry between Ireland and Dagestan.
I've beaten #1 in the world. I am the best in this division. We have history. Our countries have history in the game. The biggest rivalry in the sport. You're Khabib's protege. I'm McGregor's protege. Let's run it back for that welterweight world title. And Islam, the ball is in your court. You choose when.
Are we going to choose
where,
this taken down?
and I'll be there. But I'm telling you
Only
now.
if you say that out loud during the show, maybe, Luke. But here's what I'll have to say. There's some of his.
By the way, he's not McGregor's protege. What
I know,
the fuck
he's
is he talking
stretching the
about?
truth to bring it together. But even though a lot, and he had like 10 promos all over the arena after this fight. Some of it's cringe, some of it's a little not making sense. But this is the spirit you want out of a cocky, polarizing guy who's pretty damn close, knows he is, wants to be in this. You can make it a decent build, right? Islam's going to have to get through Ramadan. You can build it up as a destination type thing. And here's some points that MMA On Point, our friends over there in the UK, tweeted out about Garry and his case here. Yes, he lost to Shavkat, but he's way more active than that in terms of being ready and being willing to take guys on short notice. He fought that well against Shavkat on 3 weeks' notice, was the first fighter to take Shavkat down, the first fighter to go the distance against him, and nearly subbed him in round 5. Then he takes the Carlos Prates fight on 3 weeks' notice, gives Carlos his only UFC loss. Luke, that's a pretty damn strong argument when you mix that with I just beat #1 Belal Muhammad. Do I think Tsarukyan, by comparison, has a better chance of getting the title shot next in his division than Ian Garry does? Yes. It's much more bottlenecked here. But isn't it lined up perfectly where you could make Garry next by forcing Kamaru Usman, 38 years old, 1 win in the division in the last 4 years, You really want this? You got to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov. And then you take the two bruisers, Morales and Prates, you put them against each other, and that's how you map the territory moving forward. You can hate Ian Garry all you want, but I think he's kind of acting how you want somebody in the midst of a bottleneck to stand higher and put their arm up and say, look at me, look what I'm doing, look at how I'm behaving. Look, separate from the great analysis you gave over what he might be lacking to go over the top against Islam for the title. Isn't he doing his part completely by trying to sell the matchup, by being willing to fight anybody on any time notice? This is kind of, I mean, he's kind of put himself, he's got a much better case than Kamaru. He's got a much better case than Kamaru. He's got you can argue a better case, even though the better fight visually is Islam versus Shavkat. You could tell me that's the best fight you can make in the sport, and I'm not going to complain.
Right.
But that doesn't do anything marketing-wise on what this level can be. Can't you at least put all those facts together and say, yeah, this kid's got a great argument for the fight?
He has, given the present circumstances, I think I would not disagree with you. But my interest level in having him go up against Islam, where Islam might be thwarted in certain ways, but would ultimately be too overwhelming against another defensively strong fighter, not super high. A fight that is whose outcome is not so much in doubt and whose complexion probably won't be that great.
Could Garry have stopped Belal if he stepped on the gas?
Well, that's an interesting question.
He had him rocked. I mean, that big right hand he hit, he had him rocked.
First of all, we haven't said this, and I think we should. We already knew this, but certainly after the JDM fight and now the Ian Garry fight, dude, Belal is tough as shit.
Yes.
He took big punches, big strikes, a lot of rejection, so to speak, and just kind of keeps moving forward. He took the second round on one judge's scorecard in this contest. Big respect to Belal Muhammad. Whether you like him or not, this is not a guy you can look at and call a chump or a quitter or he's not tough. He's tough as shit.
So you're not going to buy into the MMA Twitter revisionist history that says JDM was only a champion because Leon Edwards. JDM was only a champion because Leon Edwards let Belal into the championship picture.
I'm not saying that the two are mutually exclusive. There might be something to be said
somehow like Leon Edwards was, elite for a couple nights, but largely wasn't elite.
Right. I do think that's right. I think he peaked right at the moment where he got a Hail Mary, Doug Flutie, win there, which is historic, and that's great. And he was able to follow up on it, but against caliber of competition that I think had been affected or burned out by that point. Again, he was closing the show on an era that needed to die, and he helped it die. That doesn't mean he was the torchbearer for the next era.
Sure.
And I think that's where he has gotten into problems. Dude, Ian Garry's case to have a title shot is real. But the problem is promotionally, he's not that exciting to put them up. And I think, too, also just wouldn't make for the best fight. So you cannot deny what he's put together, nor his own advocacy. But you just have to think, imagine if Bob Arum was in charge of UFC matchmaking. If you think like that, you'll get much closer to what the actual truth is. And if Bob Arum was in charge, he's going to get a fading legend who's still got a little bit of star juice, and he's going to use that to boost Islam's profile as the number one pound-for-pound guy in the sport.
And I understand that. But this division is too hot for that right now. Usman has not been active enough, has not had, the Buckley win, it shows you that he's still around at 38. He's still viable. The Buckley win mixed with the performance against Chimaev in defeat on short notice in a division up. But damn, whether it's Garry or whether it's another guy, Shavkat. I don't like this idea. I know that I guess Arman had to pay a toll because he pulled out of a title fight midweek and then sat out a long time and almost didn't fight this year if Hooker didn't give him that chance. But Shavkat, he didn't pull out at all. That just kept getting hurt.
Yeah, I think also his wife and kid were in a traffic accident. So
I don't know, but there is that cringe side of Garry. Does this promo from Garry turn you off?
I have already spoke to Ilia. I have already spoke to the guys at WoW. I would absolutely love to go back to Madrid, and I would love to look. Hey, when we speak about Georgia, Ilia, he can help me out a lot. You know what I mean? With my friends in Russia or my friends in Georgia over here, we're going to stop the Russians from having their success. We're going to stop the Dagestanis from having that success, and we're going to shut him down, and we're going to take his head clean off his shoulders.
So he's now inserted himself into the Ireland versus Dagestan rivalry, and now he's inserted himself into the Georgia versus Dagestan.
He's such a... Okay, the game requires it, so I'm actually not even mad. I don't like it, but you got to respect the fact he will use any tragedy or horrible situation to self-promote. It's quite remarkable.
Like all you 9/11 fans out there, and have you seen this?
He's like,
shit?
I'm going to go. Oh, this guy's from Afghanistan. Well, I'm going to go train with the New Yorkers. It's like
okay,
we're not really doing that anymore. But anyway, putting that to the side. I like that he is what.
It's like Vince McMahon 1980s wrestling booking. Yeah,
it's like it's doing like let's be mad at the Iranian guy because of the Iranian fucking hostage crisis, and it's just like anyway. It's just a lot for me to watch.
Yes.
He. Part of the thing is let's talk about this for a second. All right, hold on.
We've been talking about.
We don't know, but this part specifically.
Is it hot in the studio, or am I the only one?
It's a little warm today.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hear me out. How much should we appreciate his advocacy for self, which on some level you have to do, and how much of it is grating because it is so intensely, nakedly. Opportunistic as well as insincere.
Yes.
Like he comes across quite clearly as like this is all very transactional to him. So how are we supposed to feel about that?
I think it's part of that polarizing side of him that part of it he can't avoid. It's sort of his personality. The other part of it is he leans into it.
Yes.
And even though you said you don't love ultimately what you believe the Islam Garry fight would ultimately look like entertainment wise, you sell fights on what the build is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always sell fights on that exact part. The hardcore fans think of it like that, but the casuals could think of it as, damn, this confident kid from Ireland really does believe in himself on a stupid level. Like, put him in there against Islam. Let's see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, if UFC matchmakers sit down and look at 2026 and the opportunity they have with Paramount and maybe matchmake a little bit differently and take advantage of big opportunities and not look at it as, well, we've got this aging great name in Usman who's probably going to move the needle more as a B-side than any of these guys, and let these young guys step up and take their swing, and you organically, the fan base grows, in my opinion, Luke. So this is the right fight to make in many ways. But it wasn't the only fight Ian Garry was in Saturday night, or near scuffle.
Uh-oh.
He crossed paths with one Khamzat Chimaev. Let's listen in.
Good job tonight. Ready to go?
No, I'm on Arman.
Oh, he's not going to fight me. He's good. He's a champion. Don't worry. What's wrong? Whoa. Come on, relax, boys. Well, dude, that's just childish. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Look at me. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Your friend just won. Don't ruin his victory. Arman, congratulations.
Dude, what do you think happened there? They patted each other on the back and were like, hey, nice job tonight, good job. But then when the security guard thought they were beefing, Garry said, oh no, he won't fight me. And then what did Chimaev take that as?
He's a champion.
As a slight?
No, because he says he won't fight me. He's a champion. Like, in other words, he would never do such a thing because that's beneath a person of this stature. And
Chimaev's like, I'll bite your flesh right now.
Khamzat is like, I am like Jeff Van Gundy biting your ankles.
Yes,
I will just do that.
You're talking about when Marcus Camby tried to swing at Danny Ferry? Oh no, you're talking about Alonzo Mourning versus
Alonzo Mourning
versus Larry Johnson.
Yeah. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, I mean, clearly Khamzat is a loose cannon. I mean, who does? It's. I'm going to say it one more time. It is not hard to not get into fights in public. It's actually very easy to not do that. Sometimes it can't be avoided, BC. Sometimes trouble comes to your door. But 99% of the time, it's actually very easy to not fight in public. As someone who has been witness to a lot of public fights, there's been very few of them that I've ever thought, wow, man, this really had to happen.
Yeah,
they had to do this.
Here's Ian Garry's take on the incident.
I went up to Tsarukyan. I congratulated him. I went up to Khamzat. I said, hey, champ, what's up? When are we going to see you back? He goes, I don't know, brother. Whenever. Smash. All right, cool. Sweet. Slaps me on the back. I'm like, all right, cool. Security guy gets in front of us. I'm like, we literally were just cool with each other. He's not going to fight me. And then that childish energy comes out. Yeah, fuck you, brother. Fuck you. Boom. Tries to push me. I just turned around and went, you're meant to be a champion of this sport. You're a child. You're taken away from your friend's win over here. How about you calm down, slow down, and have a bit of respect for your friend over here rather than trying to steal the headlines. Do you want the honest truth? It's little dick energy. I need to show the world I'm tough. I need to show you're the champion of the world. No one needs to see you be tough. You don't need to have these anger management issues. Just be a man. Sorry.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him.
I'll get him one day.
Wow.
I'm
You
going
think
to try
Gary?
grab a hold of my legs. Born it'll. I'm not going to get.
You think Gary shows BDE or LDE in general? BDE.
I mean, mostly just annoying.
Okay.
DE.
Okay. You want to hear Hamzat's take, or should we move on?
I don't give a fuck.
All right, we'll move on. I've got a history lesson to tell you, folks, as we wrap segment number 2 here. Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. Let me take you back. 1795, Cuervo invented tequila. And since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. Same family, same land. You better believe that same passion, because 230 years later, Cuervo is still right here in every pour, in every margarita, in every celebration. So enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. ProximoCuervo.com. Please drink responsibly. And Luke Thomas, a week from today, UFC 323 Fight Week, live and direct here, 11 a.m. next Monday in the Metal Lark Studios, brought to you by Cuervo. It's Morning Combat pregame preview with LT, B Sizzle, and Jed Meshew numero 2.
Yeah.
Your
Apparently
thoughts?
he had some beef. What, did he have beef with AB?
Yeah, what's going on? Are Bronny?
What's the latest on that, Long Island? I heard that Abron and Jed were at fisticuffs.
I didn't see it either, but I heard on Submission Radio things got testy. I'm gonna have to watch it after this, honestly.
All right.
Did they kiss? BC wants to
Maybe.
know.
Jim Lampley believes that if you get so close to fighting a man, that inevitably you'll want to.
They're falling in love.
That's it. That's it right
Jim,
there.
Jim, they're not falling
They're
in
not
love.
falling in love at all. All right. Let's go to topic number 3. It's what else happened at UFC Qatar Fight Night card. And how about Kyoji Horiguchi? Yeah, baby. The former UFC flyweight title challenger turned world-class fighter across the globe, including in Ryzen, where he fought as high as bantamweight, had big wins, had big losses. He's now back down at the 125, making his first return to the UFC cage since 2016, and absolutely demolishing Tagir Ulanbekatov via third-round submission. Bekov. So, Luke, he's now unbeaten in his last 8 fights. Is it safe to say at 35 years old that Kyoji Horiguchi, who snapped the 4-fight win streak of Tagir, might be the most dangerous threat available, excuse me, to his teammate, Alexandre Pantoja's flyweight title reign?
I don't know if he is, but I think he should be fast-tracked to a title shot immediately. I
mean, Josh Van's going to have up next a week.
Josh Van's got up next. And by the way, if Van is somehow victorious, which could very well happen, they might do a rematch just based on how long Pantoja has been champion. Sometimes you got to beat a guy not once but twice.
And you got Roy Volkop coming up as well.
Right.
But
But
also got Moreno Tyra on that same card.
Good point.
but Tyra still's got some work to do. So if he wins,
What about
and Moreno? I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
You can make
Well, if
Moreno Pantoja 6.
Horiguchi's a fresh challenge.
I was going to say if Josh Van wins, Moreno's a fresh challenge. Or
Fair
Roy
enough.
Vol, so.
Yeah, so there's a few things in play where some other guys might have to get a couple more or not. We shall see. But obviously, this was a phenomenal win, BC. There's no question about it. Little bit slow to get started out of the gate, but by round 2, he was in complete and dominant control, closed the show, really beat up Ulanbekov in round 3 to the point where his corner had later said they were considering throwing in the towel. That's how bad it was.
He was fast as shit at this age.
He was fast. He was agile. He was technical. He set things up well. He avoided big damage when he needed to. He won wrestling scrambles. He was dominant in positions. Dude, he looked awesome. You could say that the best win he's had since those back-to-back losses to Pettis and Mix, which was around 2022.
Which was at bantamweight.
Which was at bantamweight. He also got back against Pettis in Ryzen, I think the last fight, the fight before last. So you're asking, like, what's his next big win? Maybe not Ulanbekov as the name per se, but getting back to UFC, 35 years of age, and just showing the vitality that he had.
Yes.
The willingness to exchange.
Great Pearl Jam album. Yeah.
Clearly knew exactly where he wanted to go and what he wanted to do in that fight. And when the time was to close the show, he did it. Now, you can argue Ulanbekov had a tough weight cut because his own corner said as much. Islam was like, yeah, it didn't go great. So, fine. Nevertheless, 35, proven contender. He's still great. Fresh matchup, depending on what happens. And by the way, the Gooch speaking a little bit of English in the post-fight comments.
I agree. He showed a lot of vitality, as you said, Luke. Here is a quote tweet of what he said in the cage afterwards. MMA Junkie transcribed it. I feel really good because I come back to the UFC. This is my dream. I want to get the UFC belt. Where is Pantoja? He is my teammate, but it doesn't matter. I will beat you up. Now, Luke, you know the great King Mo Lawal, the former Strikeforce champion and Bellator star. I used to do a podcast with him at CBS. I remember him in 2018 telling me the best flyweight in the world is still Kyoji Horiguchi, and that was 8 years ago. At 35, he hasn't fallen that much. What do you make of the 35-year-old version versus the guy who lost his only UFC defeat is to Demetrius Johnson? Like, how different is he from his younger, I guess you would say more prime days, but he still looks like he's got
more physical prime, but he's certainly at a more technical prime now. Now, he's obviously, that loss to Pettis was real bad. That was a vicious KO, but
he got stopped by Kai Asakura and then came back and got him in the rematch.
Asakura,
by the way, Asakura this morning in Japan on the Top Rank Fast Channels, Top Rank Classics, lost the title bout to Inoue's brother, by the way. Did you see
Kai Asakura?
Yeah.
The UFC fighter was boxing?
I'm sorry. Did I get him confused with the guy? Tenshin Nasukawa. I got him confused with the guy that Floyd Mayweather did that exhibition with. I take that back. My bad. You're right. Asakura's in the UFC.
Wow.
The CT.
You gonna start karate chopping the air as you go through the.
That's what was a big setup for to get to that point. Man, I'm having a few of those moments lately. I've lost it. I've lost my touch.
You lost your fucking fastball.
So the whole point of me saying that is like people know at AT&T for years how great he is. Pantoja knows it too. But let's first hear from teammate Hainato Moicano.
Horiguchi as an underdog.
He's American top team, right?
American top team. Look his resume, okay?
You think he gets a finish, though, against the gear?
I don't know. Maybe not. Decision. But look, 7-1 in UFC on his first run. Only lost to Demetrius Johnson. So that's very good. And then he went to Rising, and he only lost on the 135 division because he's very small. He is very small. And he beat Caldwell on Bellator, He was schooling Pettis until he got knocked out. He got caught on 5-round fights. So
he's 34-5 professionally, bro.
He's the real deal. Let me tell you something, Matty. I saw this guy train with Pantoja. I saw this guy training Adriano Moraes. I think this guy is the best fighter of American top team overall.
What? Really? Like complete, you mean?
The best fighter.
What do you mean by that?
The guy that trains more, the more skillful, the more disciplined fighter.
Bro, so I should put 20 G's on him at plus 165? I mean, how does he lose it to... How does he win?
I mean, Luke, getting to train, to be fair, with Pantoja and Adriano Moraes of one championship who had those fights with DJ, certainly ups the game. I wanted to play this sound from Pantoja that happened earlier this year in April when the idea of Horiguchi coming back to the UFC and potentially fighting him came up. Here's Pantoja's thoughts on it.
All the time we need teammates fighting, But like Kyoji Horiguchi helping me to get this belt, If I don't have Kyoji Horiguchi, I don't know if I have the opportunity to fight for the belt. I don't know if I have the opportunity to be a champion one day, but I have Kyoji Horiguchi. He on my side, all my camps. And that's what I say. If Kyoji Horiguchi helped me to conquer that, he helped my family too. And all the time, I have the chance to say thank you to him. I say, Kyoji, thank you to everything you did for me. And it's going to be a pleasure if I fight for him with the belt, just for the belt. I don't believe I fight with Kyoji without the belt, but for the belt, we are talking about that. And it's going to be a gift, this opportunity to fight with Kyoji for the belt. I hope I can still hold this belt for so long and wait Kyoji for that. We really appreciate.
I'm not saying how everyone does it is wrong, but it's very refreshing for him to say, like, I'm not ripping Aspinall for saying because Ante Delia sat in my kitchen and ate with my family, I'll never fight him for the title, and I would give it up before fighting him. People have different relationships and understanding, whether it's Marab and Aljo, Kane and DC. But for him to say...
LT and BC.
Yeah, for him to say my family has, eaten, has gotten to another level, my career has gotten to a level because of this guy, that it would be a, quote, gift and a pleasure to fight him for the title and give him that opportunity. That's like Bushido at the highest level right there. That's some great shit.
That tells you he came from a real disadvantaged background. You know what I mean?
And understands
like what it means for someone to actually help you. Because people who don't get a lot of help are really grateful for it when they get it.
Sure.
And that looks to me like, and also, not for nothing, Horiguchi has to be an incredible training partner if you are, in fact, Alexandre Pantoja, and you're getting ready for the guys you're getting ready for. It has to be one of the best training partners imaginable on planet Earth. So just the fact that you have that kind of help and then, his attitude more broadly, they kind of get the score. I'm with you. Hey, I wouldn't fight him, but for a belt, before a belt, it kind of makes sense. That's a pretty good rule.
Dude, he's got to get back through Josh Van first. But what do you think the odds would be on a fight? Horiguchi versus Pantoja, the next fight. I don't know if they'll make Horiguchi win another. You don't know that.
Yeah, I think I would favor Pantoja slightly. That's a question for Long Island. Put that up. Put the odds on that one.
Oh, and we can get a Horiguchi Asakura trilogy under this.
You could?
Yes.
Just because we haven't seen enough of Horiguchi back yet, and he just beat like number 12. You know, it's not really, you can't hold him in too high regard yet. I'd go Pantoja minus 175, Horiguchi plus
130.
No, it'd be like plus 150, right?
Yeah, whatever the math is.
God, it's hot in this room. All right.
Are you that hot? I'm not that hot.
Yeah, it was ice
nose is
cold
running,
this
though.
morning. Witch's tit level, you know? All right. Thank you, Ken. Thank you for that. All right. Hey, let's keep it going down this card. How about Waldo Cortez Acosta? Have heavyweight fight will be available. He improved to 4-1 this calendar year, taking a fight on 3 days' notice, flying to Qatar, and then delivering a knockout with powerful shots against a Shamil Gassiev. How about the post-fight call-out? Not just trolling Tom Aspinall, but calling him out for a title shot. And how about Waldo going even further? First, he got the troll job of the eye patch. He put it on Bisping. That was probably the best moment for Bisping when he tweeted after.
Surprisingly good moment.
So
yes.
glad they got the eye right. Congrats, Waldo. And Luke then said he wants to come back for a UFC record 6th fight this calendar year on one of those fight night the last fight night to end the year in December. Where does this year rank in terms of improbability from a guy who went from just another heavyweight salsa boy to now being like almost closing in on a shot at Aspinall and like quasi fighter of the year votes going his way for what he's put off this year?
The reality is his level of activity and the success that it's brought in conjunction with the circumstances that you mentioned, not just for this fight, but again, he beat Ante D'Elia in the very weird circumstances 3 weeks ago.
One loss to Pavlovich this year.
That's what I was going to say. It has made you kind of forget that he did lose to Pavlovich. Pavlovich, a flawed heavyweight, but a big, powerful one, and he was kind of technically better in that one. How many people really remember that? How many people are hanging on to that? It's not just that he has won a lot, BC, and then won in ways that against unenviable circumstances. The thing that stands out to me about Waldo Cortez Acosta is that he is kind of showing himself to the world. He's trying to audition for the fan base's adoration, and he's trying to do the things, which of course come first with winning, but these other things that you mentioned along with it, along with this demonstration of a little bit of humor and understanding of pomp and circumstance, and using that to then reintroduce himself to the fan base. And it seems to me, BC, that it is working. People really like what Waldo Cortez Acosta is turning in, again, from winning performances, but also that he wants the smoke, that he's going after it, that he is taking some risks. Again, he speaks pretty good English, but he's out there just trying to do this in a not his native language. It's not an easy thing to do. You got to really appreciate it.
I don't even hate the troll job on Aspinall. Like, it's petty, but like it's giving him an identity.
It's memorable.
Yes, it is. It is. Was it memorable in his second UFC fight that older brother of Ilia Topuria, Alexandre, at bantamweight improved to 2-0 in the Octagon with a safe but technical 3-round unanimous decision over Beksat Almakhan? Should we be looking out for Topuria's bro here in the bantamweight division?
You know who wants to have sex with him? Long Island Luke.
Yeah, Long Island Luke. Tell me about it.
No, I was saying I was anti-Topuria going into this fight. I really thought Almakhan was going to give him trouble, and I was actually really impressed with him, especially his wrestling. I didn't think his wrestling was going to be that good. We knew he had hands, but yeah, he's someone to watch. I'm actually
his defense,
very intrigued.
Striking defense is tight. He gets inside, but he doesn't throw a lot.
His scrambling was good too. That head toss he hit in, I think, the first or second round.
I don't know against the
slick.
elites if you can just put up a high guard, back them up, and intimidate them.
He moves his feet too. That's the difference. I'll say this though: the only issue for me is both Topuria brothers are like this, but Alexandre is a little bit slower to get off the gate to get his offense going, which is not by itself a problem, BC. Except if you are fighting really good guys, and the margin for error in having slow offense can really cost you. That's one of the few things I worry about. But dude, he's well-rounded. He's physical, little short in stature for the weight class, but not fatally so. I don't know if he'll be his brother, but he's certainly very good.
All right, I have a question about both Topuria brothers that goes into an area that you don't like. The potential divorce. I don't really know what's going on with Ilia Topuria in this relationship, and Luke has a preference of let's not talk about that stuff. It's for the
their
weirdos
personal
online.
lives are not our lives.
But
I mean,
it does connect to the training, because there's a theory on MMA Twitter that Topuria married into some money, and that was why he had that state-of-the-art gym in his basement. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And that whenever we see him or his brother training now online after the supposed separation, that it's in much more modest circumstances. Will this affect their growth at all if this is true, Luke?
Maybe. I think we're reaching a little bit here.
I like, I've reached before. I have.
We reached around.
All right, Luke, let's talk about unbeaten light heavyweight, who I didn't think I'd be talking about. Abdul Rahman Yakhyayev setting the division record in his UFC debut with a 33-second submission of Rafael Conquera.
No.
Cerquera. Excuse me, I can't read either. It wasn't just the sub, though.
Having problems at home there, bud?
Having problems up here. The huge high kick, Luke. He kind of looked like a Turkish Johnny Walker, but with more technique and focus. Look, we got 33 seconds of footage on him in the UFC. Are you impressed?
He was fighting who appears to be the worst guy in UFC history. However, he did what you're supposed to do to the worst guy in UFC history. He just completely attacked and obliterated him to the point you raise. I don't know what to say, except he sure shit didn't look bad. Let's just see him against somebody who can put up a little bit of a fight.
All right. How about the battle-tested 41-year-old Nicholas Dalby, who snapped a two-fight losing skid?
He was going to get job, too.
Went in there against Islam Makhachev protege Sigid Izagmak.
Let's hear it.
Zakamayev, some shit like that. I just want to say all three Abdulmanap fighters on the card lost.
So this dude is jacked as shit.
So I saw this Russian MMA. I don't know if he's media, but he's like a super clued in fan, and he made a point. This guy is like really in the weeds on this, and he made a point. He's like, if you actually look at Abdulmanap's camp, there's Habib and Islam at the top, and then just a step down is Umar and Usman.
Yes.
And then what he said is basically everyone after that is whatever.
Mid, nubs, buns, whatever.
Yeah, not buns, but whatever. It's not like everyone.
Look at me with the teenage phrases.
Yeah, it's not like everyone is like a fucking murderer up there. They got 4 guys who are really good, 2 are really special.
Dalby earned this one though.
He did.
Against a strong grappler.
Yeah. No, he don't know. And a plus 40 to do it. And again, I thought there was going to be a little bit of hometown cooking, but there wasn't.
And Dalby at 41 pushed the pace against him too.
Yeah. Well, he's just an attacker.
Yeah.
Sometimes to his own detriment, but in this particular case, I think he hustled enough to collect meaningful offense here.
All right, don't look now. But Kazakh brawler and former lightweight Miktabek Orabali.
Oralbai. Like oral by.
Caio Boralho.
Like after your female relatives.
Is it ear hair or ear hair? Is it Fedor Bader or Fader Bader, Luke? I really don't know. Luke, Miktabek.
I'm 5 years old.
Oralbai is now 4-1 in the UFC. The only loss in that barbaric war with Runbetsky. He one-punch KO'd former middleweight contender Jack the Joker Hermanson.
Okay, let me just say, this was great, and it was fun to watch. But, and I'm excited for Oralbai at 170. I did not in any way think like, I don't want to see more of this. He has to go back to 55. That's not what I thought. However, isn't the real story here that Hermanson, who we were all like, yeah, I don't know if draining yourself as a giant middleweight to get to welterweight makes a lot of sense at
37,
age 37. And he got, Oralbai seemed to exhale on him, and it was enough to send him to the land of wind and ghosts.
It looked like when BSD tapped Dariush, the fight was over.
It was over.
I mean, it was more than a tap, but it was,
Jack Hermanson is not some scrub, but he's got some questions to ask about his fighting future.
Anything else on these undercards, Long Island, Luke, because you were smoking during it?
Asu Almabayev, my dark horse of 2025. Man, he was losing to Alex Perez. Pulls out that sub in the third round.
Yeah, they called it a standing guillotine. He jumped guillotine. It's just that Perez didn't go to the ground. He just stood there. Yeah.
We've seen Perez guillotine before, too. Didn't Figgy guillotine him, too?
I think that's right, yep.
But yeah, that was pretty impressive. How about Ozdemir knocking out Alonzo Menefield?
Dude, Ozdemir's punches looked... I mean, he's kind of reformed for a second run. You see the limitations. It's easier to do this at this level, but man, he looked like he's still a problem.
Putting good combinations together, long 3, 4, 5 punch combinations.
Dude, his legs are so thick.
Yeah.
He should just calf kick the whole fight. Or just check kicks the whole fight.
Again, I don't know exactly how far he can go, but, also, Alonzo Menefield's nickname is great, Atomic. I actually really like that. But I think we know what we got with him at this point. It's kind of...
Dude, that man Ozdemir once fought for a title against Daniel Cormier.
Gave him a good fight, too. People forget that.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
There it is.
Anthony Smith beat him. I keep saying it. Anthony Smith's win over Volkan Ozdemir it's a good win. It's a solid win.
There was a former Marine in the opening fight of the night. Denzel?
The heavyweight fight? I
Yeah.
didn't see it. I heard it was ass.
It was basically a calf kicking competition. It was a lot of people compared it to Ngannou Lewis.
It was that bad?
Long Island Luke. It was bad. You weren't that
It
high.
wasn't Ngannou Lewis bad, but it was a boring, forgettable fight.
Yeah.
Well, sorry about that. I can't police all the Marines.
No such thing as an ex-Marine. All right. Hey, let me talk to you guys about what's coming up because it's the holiday season and Thanksgiving isn't just about family and turkey. It's about touchdowns. It's about takes. You got them? Well, it's Thanksgiving and the action doesn't stop at the dinner table. Feast on some winnings this holiday with Pick 6, DraftKings' newest fantasy pick'em game. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. We're talking passing yards. We're talking touchdowns. We're talking rushing yards. You pick the players. You pick the stats. We go in more or less. Put your knowledge to the test because Pick 6 brings you upside those other pick'em sites simply can't touch. Hammer. The better you perform, the bigger your payout is. And it's available in most states, including Texas, California, Georgia, and more. Luke, tell them what to do next.
I don't have my notes.
I'll tell you what to do next. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now. Use our code COMBAT with a K. That's code COMBAT. And new DraftKings customers can play for just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly. Make the call. Ride the upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, we wanted to update you on our holiday schedule here for Morning Combat. You're watching us live right now. Shout out to everybody on the DraftKings Network. This week, this Friday, Black Friday, we will have a pre-taped mailbag special. And here's what we want from you, the listener/viewer. Email us at morningcombat@gmail.com. Provide a video question of any topic, 60 seconds or less. Hey, you want to do audio only? Same thing, 60 seconds or less. Or if you have to, email us your question, morningcombat@gmail.com. Luke Thomas and I will be filming a holiday Thanksgiving turkey mailbag. Watch it live Friday after you take down the competition over there
Let me ask you a question.
At Caldors and Walmart and Bradley's.
Keep the email up. Let me ask you, Long Island Luke, is there a way to maybe give the best question a little bit of swag?
What do you have in mind?
Well,
Merch Master.
What do you think? Can we sign a poster for them? Can we give them a T-shirt? Like, what can we do?
Oh, that's what you meant by swag. All right,
Yeah.
I misinterpreted that completely. Yeah, we can definitely.
What, you think I'm telling you to give you drugs? Like, oh, you got?
No, I
got
thought
pills?
you meant like, can we present their way with some swag?
No.
Like,
I mean, like, hey, best question gets a signed poster or something like that.
Yeah,
Can we do that?
We could definitely do that.
All right, so there you go. Let's up the ante. Best question gets a signed poster.
Get creative. Use the old fan sub spirit. Put a video together, an audio file, 60 seconds or less, or just write us in and write in your questions. We'll be recording this on Wednesday, so you know deadline-wise, but you can catch the show on Friday, morningcombat@gmail.com. Let's go to topic number 4. It wasn't just a big weekend in the Octagon over there in Qatar. We also were in Riyadh, where the main event got off, by the way, at like nearly 7 a.m. Eastern
What the fuck
time.
were they doing?
I don't know, but what they were doing though, and let's give Turki Al-Sheikh and company credit from the ring. These ring branded cards, they're matched extremely well. This 4-fight main card, which was slow to get going, you had a lot of podcasts between the fights early on, but once we got into these 4 well-matched fights, they turned out to be bangers. It was a very entertaining night. If you're on the East Coast, which I say for once, Luke, but if you were there, by the way, as that crowd got skinnier and skinnier, I think it ended at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I'd rather die.
Let me talk about, though, the co-main event first, because I do think this is the biggest story. Devin Haney produced a largely lopsided comeback victory here on this well-matched card to gain a welterweight title, a 3rd division title, and in some ways humble and expose unbeaten welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr. No longer forcing himself, of course, to cut down so aggressively to 135 and 140. We saw a fully hydrated, strong Devin Haney who delivered a 2nd-round knockdown, controlled Norman throughout the middle rounds with his big jab, looked like he was hurting him or coming close to stopping him. And then took his foot off the gas a little bit in that second half, allowed Norman to keep it physical, keep it competitive. In the end, Haney gets the decision win, which was deserved. So Luke, considering his reputation, took major hits with the no contest against Ryan Garcia, in which he was dropped 3 times and initially lost a decision, not to mention his May comeback against Jose Ramirez in Times Square, where he openly refused to exchange at any point. This time around, you got a much different Devin Haney. So should we focus on the fact that this was him reminding us of his elite pound-for-pound skills for 2/3 of this fight? Or how much should be taken away from it from the standpoint that if you are a Devin Haney critic and you focus on that final third of the fight, you did not see what looked like a confident guy with a big gas tank looking to take his opponent out of there?
Well, I think we have to start where this conversation starts, and it's for you and for me. You better not shy away from this. We got to take our eat crow on this one.
You mean when I predicted that Devin Haney would win by decision?
I thought you predicted Brian Norman.
No, you predicted Brian Norman. I said Devin Haney with the added weight. I thought the Ryan Garcia thing, people aren't realizing the PEDs played a big role with the craziness and who Ryan was.
Sure.
And even though I can't defend Haney for how he acted against Ramirez, I didn't think he looked scared or washed. I just thought he was strategically being really annoying. Being really annoying.
Well, I'll have to do it for myself then, because not only did I can't get him right. I thought he was going to go in there and walk over Ryan Garcia, and that did not happen. And then I thought, okay, well, he's now damaged goods. By the way, I think Sean Porter has some crow to eat on this Monday as well. Here's my turn at it. And here I thought, oh, Brian Norman, okay, granted he hasn't fought. We knew he hadn't beat anyone at this level.
But he looked like a killer.
He looked like a killer. And more to the point, I thought Devin Haney was just ass in his last fight, which, again, was not a great performance overall. And then, BC, he looked great.
He looked great.
First of all.
You want to see the replay here from the ringside view of the knock? This is the knockdown in round 2.
So he hits him with, I think, a left hook and then finishes him off
with the right cross.
With the right. There's that left hook.
That left hook hurt him, and then bam.
And then taunted him.
And he looked bigger, stronger. That jab was on fire the next 4 rounds.
And he looked fast at the weight class, too. So let me just say this. At 147, Haney looks great. Great. I've been so wrong about the guy for what feels like the last 2 goddamn years. I mean, I guess the Ramirez fight.
I mean, what did I tell you on Friday? That when he cuts down low in weight, his punch resistance gets compromised, like against Linares, like against others.
Yes. And again, there might be still some issues that a different matchup could potentially expose. But, dude, he's now a 3-division world champion. This was not a bum that he fought on Saturday. I think Brian Norman still is quality. It did appear to be too much in terms of what Devin Haney could do. But, BC, I think we should talk about something. He lost to Ryan Garcia for, I think, a couple of circumstances. One, Ryan did offer stylistic difficulties for him that were exposed in that fight. And then also the other stuff he was doing, recreational, PEDs, the whole 9 yards, certainly didn't help matters. That really affected his stock. But it seems to me the Ramirez fight was a stop along the way to a better recovery. And it looks to me like he has made a substantial improvement since not merely the Ramirez fight, but the damage that was done to him. And I want to say this. One thing I can say I have been right about on Haney, which is not much. I've been quite wrong quite a bit about him. But what I'm going to say is we talked about it on this show. Dude, there was a time following April of 2024 where Devin Haney was the most hated guy, clearly in boxing and maybe in terms of just the heat of it all of combat sports, all because his opponent cheated like a motherfucker.
And because Haney sued him for assault afterwards.
Okay, fine. He didn't help matters, but it didn't start with that. That just threw, gasoline on the fire. But look at him now. Look at him now. Shut my stupid mouth.
Dude,
shut a lot of people's stupid. There was a lot of boxing insiders who thought this was going to be Norman's coming out party. Shut them all up. Quality rises to the top. Devin, I'm sorry I let you down with my terrible prediction.
I don't always love the way him and Bill Haney, his father, manager, trainer, behave, or the things they say or how they react to things. But when it's go time, outside of that Ryan Garcia fight, which again was Haney cutting down to a weight that diminishes him, his choice, obviously.
And Garcia missing it.
Him underestimating Garcia. Garcia being on this edge of not just mentally going for it, but I think physically due to the PED just being that much sharper. Do you know how much you have to rebuild yourself? His record is unbeaten right now because that was a no contest, but everybody treated that as if we saw him exposed, defeated. Against Jose Ramirez, no, you're not going to win over anyone with that performance. And then he comes out and does this. So here's my take on ultimately on Devin. He's going to annoy you if you're a fan and critic of him until the opponents make him fight. When Brian Norman made this a fight like early on when Norman was tough. I thought in the first round, Norman won it. He was more physical. He landed shots on Haney. That brings out the elite version of Haney. Lomachenko brought that elite version out over 12 rounds, regardless of how you had that scored. Devin Haney's only going to show you that greatness if you make him. But if you make him, you're going to get it. And the fact that he's finally found the weight class that he's not a weight bully at, that he's not taking away, kind of like Islam going up to welterweight to some degree, even though Islam had an incredible run there. There's just that extra level of durability and confidence that he gets with that. He's never been a big puncher, Luke, but it looked like he had legitimate power in this fight, fully hydrated, fully healthy. Let's take a look at the tweet that shows his accomplishments, just to show you what Haney's done in his career. Was the youngest active world champion at age 20, youngest undisputed at 23, 2-division champion at 24, now a 3-division champion at 27.
He's good.
He's got some names on his resume. Look at the 4 kings or the 4 princes or whatever you want to call them, the second generation of stars that we tried to anoint and rush out there and say, this is our Hagler, Hagler, Leonard, Hearns, Duran. Haney's kind of doing the best out of the 4 of them, wouldn't you say? Tank's going in the other direction.
Well, we'll see. It doesn't. Lopez has a fight in January. Does he not?
Teofimo's still holding strong. He's come back from setbacks, but like Haney's accomplished a lot. He really has.
Also, I would say Lopez's win over Lomachenko better than Haney's.
Yes.
So there's that too. So yes, but I would to your point overall in terms of, again, okay, the Ryan Garcia fight was a blip on. That was a deviation. But in general, dude, they are planning and executing to, I won't say perfection, but to extraordinary intentionality. And their plan is working, dude. Their plan is working.
He's long, he's big, he's smart. You got to give him credit. He has huge ring IQ. He's a really smart fighter.
I'm going to say it. I was so fucking wrong about him. I was watching this fight. But that's the thing. I was watching this fight and I was like, this is so much better than his last fight. I was watching it being like, where the fuck was this? And the answer was, dude, he was still damaged from that KO.
And the last fight was a catch weight of 143. So this is him at full welterweight.
So, I mean,
here's Haney afterwards talking about those criticisms.
Everything I said I was going to do, I did. A lot of people wrote me off. They said that I was a runner. I was a sucker for left hook. That why was I taking this fight? I was going to get knocked out. And, I proved all of them wrong.
Redemption?
Yeah, I mean, this is part of it. This is definitely part of it. You guys know that, I really want the redemption with Ryan Garcia. But, the best guy at 147 was Brian Norman. And now I'm the best guy at 147. I'm back to, the man of the division, what I once was. And, I'm willing to fight, whoever. I want to fight the best fighters in the world, make the best fights happen. And, yeah.
Now, to his point, the welterweight division is reloading. It's not at its normal, historic, sexy depth. But, you got title holders like Rolly Romero right now, Mario Barrios, who a lot of people think is a dud, and then Lewis Crocker, who no one's even heard of. You don't have Terrence Crawford, you don't have Boots Ennis, you don't have that great era that we just came out of. But Haney just beat the best welterweight in Brian Norman Jr. on Norman's 25th birthday. So we're going to talk more about what could be next for Haney, but I do want to talk quickly about Norman. He kind of said the right things after the fight in terms of like, I didn't underestimate Haney. It just, you swing big, you go for it. You had to be, though, disappointed at finding out so sharply that Norman's not at this level and that the experience was a bigger factor than we thought.
I did think that he clawed his way back into that fight a little bit.
That's the drawback on the Haney performance. He didn't close strong.
I thought the last 4 rounds, Haney did a really great job. And again, was it super exciting the last 4 rounds? No. But the clinching, stopping Brian Norman before he could really get going, smothering him, it worked. It was effective. Brian Norman, though, BC, I thought was landing better punches, not in great volume, but landing better punches in that last third or fourth, depending on how you want to divvy it up. And I also thought that he was the one kind of pressing the action a little bit.
He was clinching too much. He was trying to slow down Haney, wear him down, lean on him a lot.
But they were both kind of doing it to a different degree. So I'm going to say I'm not ready to write off Brian Norman. He's still young enough where I think he's still got some pretty big wins in front of him. But, dude, again, it's weird. I can't get Haney right. What I saw in Haney was the guy that I kind of saw a little bit before the Garcia fight, who I don't think is a big puncher, but got a lot of ring craft, has a lot of different looks, has a lot of different ways in which to pursue an attack, and a lot of ways to nullify one. A forgotten lesson from the Garcia fight was how often, even after getting battered, that Haney got up off the mat and then would win the subsequent rounds that came after that. He's got a lot of tricks of the trade, even though he's just 27 years old.
Now, we'll get to the whole Conor Ben talk in a second. He mentioned Ryan Garcia. They mentioned on the broadcast. Now, the fight is not official, But Ryan Garcia has signed his contract for a potential title fight against WBC champion Mario Barrios in January. Barrios coming off the draw with Pacquiao that most people think Pacquiao won. Luke, if Ryan Garcia wins that fight, and then we get Haney Garcia 2, presumably a Riyadh season or ring numbered main event pay-per-view that unifies welterweight titles, and all the drama that's taken place to both of their stocks. Remember, Ryan came out of that Haney no contest ridiculous, looking like a crazy man, but also looking like he's the best he's ever been in his career, and then lays an absolute egg mentally against Romero in Times Square and loses that welterweight fight. But if this is a welterweight unification with all the heatedness leaning in here, how big is this fight when you look at the landscape of available fights to make in boxing?
One of the biggest fights you can make in the sport. I don't see how it wouldn't be. We all thought that the rematch would have been big if they'd done it last April in Times Square, which they didn't for all the reasons that we now know. It's easily one of the biggest promotional fights. It's a grudge match. The first fight, certainly there are, let's say, plenty of asterisks around it, BC, weight miss, PEDs, you name it, the whole night, the weight at the time, anyway, a whole bunch of stuff. And it was bitter and it was ugly. And as we indicated, Haney got absolutely battered by the fan base and the sport more broadly. Dude, even still, I texted you about it. I get that Hearn is, he's trying to promote Ben and his possibility of getting a fight with Haney, but he was shitting on Haney too.
Oh, we're about to roll into that shit.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Conor Benn, who's coming off of the win over Chris Eubank Jr. in their rematch at middleweight, but is now saying in interviews he wants to cut back down to his best weight of 147 and look for big fights. This is a picture of him ringside with Eddie Hearn, especially during the second half of this fight where they pretended that Ben was sleeping because it was so boring. And here's Eddie Hearn after the fight outside.
They're not happy with my comments, but it's just not good to watch.
Thinking media, Eddie Hearn is 7 a.m. I think it is. Cold, tired. Devin Haney, talk to me about Devin Haney. How impressed were you with his performance?
I mean, look, you got to give him the credit because he's become a 3-division world champion, but it's just not good to watch. He doesn't want to engage. He doesn't, which is right, but they're not happy with my comments because I just said the truth. Like, he doesn't look. He's his eyes wide open the whole fight, and he was always been a smart technical fighter, but look, he beat an undefeated fighter and he became world champion, so credit to him.
Conor Benn, how does Conor Benn beat someone like him who, like you said, does not want to get hit?
Look, he's not easy to beat because he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to, and that's smart. I'm not saying, but it's just not, and it's not like, oh, you wouldn't put your guys in with him because you can't beat him. He's difficult to beat because he doesn't want to engage. He's holding, he's grabbing, he's not doing anything. After he dropped Brian Norman really heavily, all he had to do was step on him. He would have stopped him. It would have been a great performance. But I'm just saying, people are watching that.
But there's obviously been talks with Conor tonight and Turkey. Have they suggested anyone else other than Devin?
So here's the interesting thing about this. He's referencing an interview that happened on the broadcast after the Haney co-main event, in which Conor Benn and Hearn were being interviewed on the stage there, and they both said he looks scared. He doesn't want to fight. Blah blah blah, and they kind of shitted on him. You remember Haney was promoted by Hearn for a chunk of the biggest stretch of his career, and then the Haneys ultimately at the end of that contract decided to go their separate way, go independent, and now be just basically a turkey fighter. So you understand promotionally now that Eddie's with Conor Benn that you're talking it up into a fight. But a lot of people thought Eddie went too far ultimately. Clarissa Shields came out on Twitter and really attacked Hearn for kind of just being classless after Haney had this comeback performance. And here's Bill Haney afterwards in the back talking about this.
Hey, Eddie, we in here in the locker room. Listen. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Fuck you, Eddie.
All right, Luke, let's quickly
That's
get into
how my
this.
family sends me birthday greetings.
Yeah, I imagine so. I think Eddie's just building a fight. There are some truths to his criticism. I think he should have jumped all over Norman. Norman was hurt for another round and a half after that knockdown, and it's just maybe it's just not who Haney is ultimately. You get a great fight out of him again if you push him. Is there any reason to do Conor Benn Haney next, given that Ben is a UK-based fighter? His stock is hot. You could put that in a soccer stadium. Or if you're Bill Haney, who does make shrewd moves, moving his son around, do you just line up Ryan Garcia? Because they got to love their chances in a rematch against Ryan Garcia.
That, and also, wouldn't they love their chances against Conor Benn?
I don't know. Ben might be a little. I mean, Ben's got to prove he can come back in 47 and be great again without the PED room.
Yeah. I like Haney's chances. I mean, what the fuck do I know about Haney at this point? But it seems like I like his chances against Ben. I mean, I don't have a strong preference to see it, but I don't have a strong aversion to it either, right?
Okay. Let's go to topic number 5, and it was what else we saw on
on that card?
On the Ring 4 card. Let's talk, of course, about that main event, addressing the critics who wondered whether his power truly carried up to 175 pounds after decision wins over Vodsick and David Morrell Jr. The title holder, David Benavidez, made the first defense of his WBC strap by beating the raw, yet still dangerous Anthony Yarde and beating him down, forcing him to into a stoppage loss against the ropes in round 7. And after the fight, Benavidez announced that he's moving up to cruiserweight and that he's got a showdown set up on Cinco de Mayo weekend in Las Vegas against current unified cruiserweight champion and Mexican-born Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, looking to take back the Mexican holidays in Las Vegas from Canelo Alvarez. He did state in the post-fight interviews, by the way, that Bivol wanted nothing to do with him. You've got people now saying, hey, that's great, but isn't he ducking Beterbiev, who this morning tweeted that he'd love to get a fight with Benavidez? That would be one of the biggest there. Considering Benavidez was forced to play bridesmaid at 168 and left out of the title picture, or the unifying, the undisputed title picture by Canelo Alvarez, is this cruiserweight move the right move for El Monstro? And is it understandable that he would want to control his own destiny in this way, given what he went through waiting around on Canelo?
So I definitely think it's a lot of the latter. He's taking matters into his hands. And also, I wonder if he wants to start planting a flag as a promotional attraction around big Mexican and or Mexican-American holidays in the way that Canelo has, where he's fighting on Cinco de Mayo or around it, or he's fighting in September on Mexican Independence Day or around it. I wonder if David Benavidez is getting out in front of it, because doesn't Zurdo Ramirez have a fight in January?
Yes, so Zurdo's been out with an injury. He has, I want to call it a stay busy. It's against a ranked fighter. I forgot the guy's name, but he's not a household name.
Okay.
It's expected that Zurdo would win, but it's also another marination thing like we did, and we never got a Haney Garcia too.
Yeah, my thought on this is I don't hate the fight at all. And by the way, against Yarde, I mean, I went back and I watched the Beterbiev fight.
Watch this this little side replay that we have from the ringside view.
Let me see. Dude, this is bonkers to watch.
I mean, he put it on him. Yarde's limited. We've said that coming in, but Yarde is a strong, full-fledged 175. Right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the issue for me, dude, is Yarde could never get Benavidez to back up.
Yeah.
Benavidez was all over him. So much of this fight takes place with Yarde's back up against the ropes. I went back and I watched the Beterbiev fight. Beterbiev certainly backed up Yarde a bunch of times, but there was a lot of exchanging in the middle.
Sure.
He was a little bit more of an accurate power puncher. Benavidez is just on top of you. It's insane. However, what I'll say is, BC, I don't hate the Ramirez fight. I don't even hate the weight class because I don't think it's going to be that hard for him to get up or back down.
Okay.
But
he is saying it's getting hard to cut to 175.
Yeah, but
which is why he thinks cruiserweight and heavyweight will be in that future. I agree with you. I think if he's going to do this and move up and seek history, and I give him a lot of credit for it, you've got to at least leave that door open to come back down, defend your title, and be in position when Bivol or Beterbiev. Like
those are the two interesting fights that we have to. We at least need one of those, and I just don't want him to be on side quests for so long that it gets in the way.
It's kind of like when Canelo was supposed to fight Benavidez next, and he was instead talking, well, I'll go up to cruiserweight and fight, Makabu, and we're like, okay, like, we'd give you the credit for that, especially your size, to try to win a title there, but that's not the challenge we need. Here's Benavidez, though, explaining his decision afterwards.
I wanted to fight Bivol for this fight. I was the #1 contender to fight for the WBC title. That's why I have the WBC title, because he relinquished it and he wasn't ready to fight. But that's the fight that I've been wanting to get. I want to make my dreams come true of becoming a unified world champion. And I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know. He said that he wanted to take the fight with Beterbiev again, and then they said that he had surgery. So I really don't know what's going on over there, and I don't want to wait for nobody anymore. I waited for Canelo. That fight never happened. Now I'm waiting for Bivol. That fight's not happening. So I want to achieve greatness, and I have an opportunity to go up to fight for 2 titles at cruiserweight, and I said, let's get it. So we're going to go up there. We're going to fight Zurdo Ramirez May 2nd. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to prove myself. Everybody always says that I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm ducking this person, I'm ducking that person. But when I go in there and get the victory, it's always the same thing. I just want to prove myself as a fighter. this is what I'm here for. You know, I'm here to prove the doubters wrong and to go in there and win as much titles as I can. And I want to be like the greats of this sport. I want to be in the same conversation as Usyk, Terrence Crawford, all those guys. And I still have a long time. I'm 28 years old, and I just want to achieve greatness.
Dude, I admire the way he carries himself. I do. Now, I want to ask you this. Beterbiev was originally going to be on this card in sort of a stay busy. They pulled him off. He claims he can't get Bivol to give him a chance. Remember, Benavidez claims they sparred back in the day, and he claims he dropped him and put it on him. Do those two things lead you to believe that maybe Team Benavidez talked to Turkey and the team, and maybe it looks like Beterbiev Bivol 3 could be on the horizon for this year?
Seems that way to me.
And maybe he's just like, okay, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to play the Canelo game all over again.
Yep.
And I think that would be more justifiable if that was, I mean, he kind of teased it. But
yeah.
I think that would be more justifiable. Let's close on him. How do you think he fares against Bivol and Benavidez through 3 fights now at light heavyweight? I mean, Bivol and Beterbiev. How do you think Benavidez would fare?
I think Benavidez beats Beterbiev for sure.
For sure, really. That power.
Well, I mean, it's competitive, but I feel like the pressure would be too much.
I don't even know if he could because Beterbiev is so gnarly. I'd have to see that, dude.
Okay, but my hunch is he could get it done. The Bivol one is more interesting because he has that balls of your feet, touch. He's pivoting, he's rolling, he's landing, he's hard to pin down. Caleb Plant didn't beat Benavidez, but was able to hang around, especially through the first 6 rounds, by doing a version of that, except Bivol is a higher quality than Caleb Plant, and I think can land with more authority. So that, to me, is the more interesting one between them, actually. Beterbiev, because of his, not in his prime, but because of his current, and he's not over the hill exactly either, but I do think he's slowed down a little bit, and I think that might be enough, certainly give it a lane anyway for Benavidez to pursue.
I think he'd have to be a boxer more at cruiserweight, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, look, he's never been a one-punch guy for the most part.
Even in this one, he wasn't
His best knockout
guy.
against Porky Medina back in the day was like a 20-punch combination against the ropes.
Yeah.
He just puts that pressure on you, wears you down, beats you down, makes you tired. Dude, he's trying to be great. He's one of the pound-for-pound best. Let's enjoy this journey. This was, of course, his Riyadh Season debut here in the main event, even though I thought that co-main event was a bigger story. But let's not miss what Bam Rodriguez is doing. San Antonio's Jesse Rodriguez unified super flyweight titles against a game unbeaten and one of the best in the lower weight classes, unbeaten Fernando Puma Martinez, in a fight that a lot of people, including me, thought was going to be a really tough test of Bam's skills. And Bam utterly dominated him here at age 25. Here's the ringside view of the slip and rip in which he stopped him with. He has that Chocolatito class in that his movement is like dance. It's like art, yet he puts big punches together. He's always in the right position.
Yeah.
And now over 2 weight classes, he's made himself one of the pound-for-pound best, and he's not just beaten, but knocked out the biggest names he can find along the way, whether that be Strisaket Sorungvisai, who's Juan Francisco and Estrada, Quadras. I mean, he's just rolling through these guys. Puma Martinez, for those that know, is a very tough out, and he made it look like he didn't belong in the ring against him. So, Luke, after the fight, Bam said he wants to be considered pound-for-pound-wise on the exact same level of the big 3 we have right now. Crawford, Usyk, and Inoue. All 3 seem to swap places in almost an Islam and Ilia way whenever they fight and whenever they get a big performance. Is Bam Rodriguez on that level right now?
Yeah, he is. Damn. He's so good. This was I didn't watch this one live, and I went back and I watched it later. This one was, it's not just that his offense is good, his defense is good too. And he can go from one to the other seamlessly.
So classy.
Like, for example, even perfect example, even the final one where he slips the punch and then comes right back and then drills the guy, and it's effortless and forceful. He has athleticism, timing, skill. He can play both an offensive game where he leads, a defensive game where he evades. He doesn't have yet that kind of win, BC, that has captured the public's imagination. He's a hardcore fan's delight. But you didn't ask that. You asked, is he on the level? I think he's on the level.
I mean, could you see him getting votes now? Beyond, I mean, he's been in top 5 of my pound for pound of, or I think, I'm at 5 coming in.
Listen, if Usyk stays kind of on the shelf for a little while and he's busy, I think anything's possible. But it's going to be tough to top Terrence.
All right, we don't want to miss him, though. Don't miss what Jesse's doing. I don't even know this fan's name. I found this on Twitter. Here's a random fan's excited takedown. Analysis of this fight. I want to see if this guy's going too far. You tell me.
It is very fascinating, that despite being only 25 years old, Jesse Bam Rodriguez has defined the generation already. This I like. In my opinion, he is the greatest fighter of all time, and he is not even getting started. People say this is a ridiculous claim.
He's doing a bit.
This is too far. You're going too far. No. This I do not believe. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is a phenomenal fighter, and I love Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
I agree.
Okay.
I love him. He's not the best of all time, but I love him.
He's doing a bit. Do you know the Slovenian philosopher Zizek?
Yes, I know that's Zizek is part of his
where he's
tag
like
name.
touching his nose, and he's
yes.
like a really ugly man, but he's got these like really funky, kind of interesting ideas. He was doing Bam Rodriguez analysis while cosplaying as Zizek.
Even though he purposely went too far trying to say he's greatest of all time, he's approaching, and he's only 25, like real greatness. And it looks effortless. It looks like he hasn't even truly tapped into that. Now, I don't know what the timelines are. Could he move up? And I mean, Junto Nakatani at 118 already moved up to 22, chasing it in a weight fight. Bam is at 115 right now. I don't know what that future is, how quickly, all that stuff, if he's ever going to get that truly generational opponent. But the consistent champions, the old guard, he's blowing through these guys with such ease. It's remarkable. Let's also talk about the opening fight. 21-year-old Abdullah Mason went in there for the vacant 135-pound title that Keyshawn Davis left on the scales in his last fight. Went in there against a 17-0 Sam Noakes, unbeaten from the UK, who came to bang. And this might go down as a fight of the year contender, an absolute war in which Mason took home a unanimous decision. But did he show too much toughness, Luke? 21 years old to go out there and gut out a fight on this level was great. He deserved the win. He proved his manhood. But he also fought the fight in Noakes' phone booth.
Yeah.
It was
which is what we said on Friday. We didn't necessarily want to see. We wanted to see a little bit more methodical. There's really no question, BC, about his talent, right?
Sure.
You don't watch that and you think, well, I don't know if he's got the goods. He seems like he's got the goods, but if he doesn't find more, like Devin Haney would never fight that way. And you could say, oh, well, that's why Devin Haney's boring. But Devin Haney's also a 3-weight world champion for a reason, too. What I'm saying is, I think I agree with you. If he doesn't start ironing this out a little bit now, he will still do great things in the sport. I think he's too good not to. But does it limit his ultimate upside? I do wonder about that.
Yeah, he also got tweeted out by the Cleveland Browns. Their support of him out of the Ohio area. Let's listen to Abdullah afterwards.
I definitely felt, with a smart fight, I would have come out with less of this.
But it made for a really entertaining scrap.
It was definitely entertaining. It went 12 rounds, a lot of experience, like I said, but we got the job done. He was definitely durable. We knew he'd be durable, and he'd be sitting there for some stuff. But I felt like I fought his fight, but I still came out on top, so, I feel good.
Can you talk about this feeling?
It feels real. It feels real. We came in here knowing that what we was gonna do.
Yeah. How do you get prepared for the fight? You did a massive fight.
Just these guys. They prepared me.
Your brothers.
Yeah, brother is my father.
The Ring 4.
Luke, to close here. These ring cards bang. They really do. They bring it on those. You get a lot of Rick Reno, you get a lot of Cop, you get Turkey's walkout, all that stuff. But of all the things that Turkey has brought, and he's brought a lot of high-level pay-per-views, I have to say at each of the 4 ring cards, man, they freaking deliver.
I know. Can we put them in a place where people care about it at a time zone?
I know. The Times Square one didn't fully deliver. Like, that was a lot of...
But again, people keep trying to do it. Hey, let's put it at a weird time. Doesn't help. Let's put it in a weird location. Doesn't help.
Yeah.
Put it in a sports venue at an appropriate local time.
I'm with you on that. I know that they still have to do a certain amount of cards at Riyadh. I wouldn't be upset if this was an afternoon card,
at a bare minimum,
much earlier in the
exactly.
afternoon.
At a bare minimum, just put it at a time when it makes sense for the local environment.
Yeah, it was tough to see like 3,000 people there, exhausted. But damn, dude, that fight card with Hamza Shara in the tennis stadium, that one banged. The first Eubank Ben fight was the first ring card. They're on to something here. I hope they continue to make these type of fight cards and match them. That was very well done right there. All right, those are our 5 topics for the week. Now we get a chance for you, the listener, to get your voice heard every Sunday night on X, on Instagram. @Morning Combat is our handle. We put out the call to get your questions This one's called DMs from the Jerked Off Donk. Well, that guy climaxed.
That's,
Here we
that's
go.
BC on top of his date in circa 2003.
Maybe more like the mid to late 90s, but, you know. Or yeah, I guess 03 I had a good year too. All right, hey, this is from Hawaii's famous Telvin Kipapa.
Hey, can you talk today? You having some problems
Fresh
there?
out of the
you having a stroke on
the
air there,
3
John
a.m.
Fetterman?
shift. If Justin Gaethje doesn't get the title shot next, who should he fight? Or does he run off to the sunset? We did touch on this earlier. Like the hooker Gaethje, but that's a step down when you're on the verge of a title.
Yeah, I think if you're Gaethje, there's no. Why would you take that fight unless they were like, oh, just take it, do us a solid, and then we'll give you the
Chandler's
title.
fallen off, so you don't need that series to continue. What
Oh.
about a trilogy with Poirier
Well, he's done
on the White House lawn?
He's done. No,
Yeah, he said he'd only come back for the White House.
Oh, he did?
Kind of said it recently. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of done most things in the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. And like you've kind of seen most of these movies. I wouldn't mind him fighting Patty, for example. They're not going to do that, but
Dude,
I wouldn't hate that
okay,
fight
but
at all.
what if they offered Gaethje like pay-per-view money? It'd be a main event, and they did it in like a stadium in England, which they don't do. So what am I talking about? They don't do that. They
just don't do shit.
I mean,
that's
even
fun.
like a big ass arena, Wembley Arena in
Right.
London.
I think it'd be great.
That you'd make a shit ton of money off that
I mean,
gate.
the problem with the question is, it's like there's really not going to be any answer you can pick that would suck. It's just that the thing is, a bunch of the good choices he's already been through.
Yeah.
And what's available is kind of interesting, but suboptimal.
Okay, let's go to the next one here. This is from @Dre Today. Well, with Dylan Dennis seemingly having no future with the UFC following that 322 brawl, how do you think he fares against the top talent in the PFL? Does he beat any of the top 5 welterweights or middleweights under the PFL banner?
Well, let's see.
And what? Dylan has 2 fights in Bellator, 1 MMA fight on the Misfits brand, but that's it.
Okay, let me read you the top rankings of the guys in PFL. Magomed Umalatov, he ain't beating him. 18-1. Steven the ass-kicking machine Jackson, he ain't beating him.
It's not Steven, it's isn't it?
What did I say,
Jason?
Steven? Jesus, Jason. What the fuck?
I mean,
my brain's not working now either. Thad Gene, maybe if you could wrestle him down, which I don't think
Dude,
he
he
could.
doesn't fight. We're giving him too much credit. He doesn't fight.
Shamil Musayev, you're not beating him. Logan Storley, you're not beating him. Andrei Koreshkov, you're not beating him. And then it drops off after that, BC. Florim Zendelli, Omar El Defrawi. Again, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Please forgive me. Muhammad Burkamov, who has been KO'd viciously a couple times. Chris Cossack Mixon. And that's the top 10. Maybe outside of the top 10, there's something there, but among anyone who's got a name, no, he would get fucking smoked.
If this was like 2009 UFC, they'd bring him in right now and feed him to somebody that would kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would CM Punk him. He would be a valuable CM Punk.
You mentioned PFL quickly. They have added Dakota Ditcheva versus former Bellator fighter Denise Kielholtz on that Usman Nurmagomedov title defense card in February. Road to Dubai. Does that entertain you?
Sure. Denise is a good judoka.
She just gave birth.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I don't know if it's the toughest test for Ditcheva, but they got to get a name, and yeah.
All right, there you go. Hey, let's go to the next question from our viewers. This is from @custom_reality. Which current champion will be the first to lose their belt from a defeat as opposed to an assassination?
Or just giving it up.
Which champion are they talking about? UFC, right?
Dern.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Dern.
Dern against Whaley. Possibility.
No, against even...
you're like against anyone in there.
Suarez.
All right, what about the next pay-per-view in a almost 2 weeks?
I mean, you could. I don't think Merab's going to lose. One never knows. He's not fighting a chump.
Jan had a broken hand in the first one. Merab is always hurt though every fight.
Right. So I'm going to pick Merab. I will say, if Josh Van wins, there's your answer. Obviously. Are you picking Van to win? Again, there's a part of me. I keep waiting for the train to fall off the tracks because of all the damage that Pantoja's taken.
You think Volk is vulnerable right now in that division?
Yes. A little bit.
But is it Lerone? Well, can Evloev beat him? He's got to step on.
Not by taking advantage of his chin, but yes, he can beat him.
Okay, that could be it too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those are good options. Those are good options right there.
I mean, Ilia. I don't think they're going to make the Arman fight next. They should.
If Tom Aspinall was the next to lose a UFC title?
Wouldn't surprise me. You know what I mean? Fighting like that, it's going to get you killed.
Okay, that is true. Who else you got here, Chin? What we got from Matt Flannels and Jits, our guy. Based on the current state of the heavyweight division, how many fights will it take for Gable Stevenson, who last night, by the way, improved to 2-0 officially in MMA? He did have that dirty boxing fight in between. How many fights will it take for him to make his UFC debut? We know there's a great chance he'll be on the White House card. Will he get a Dana White Contender Series fight before then?
Maybe.
He's technically 2-0. He destroyed some dude last night. He punched him. The dude was knocked out and falling, and then he took him down as the dude was falling.
Yeah. Matt Brown thinks he'll be UFC champion within a year.
I mean, he's ridiculously athletic.
He's so much more athletic than anyone else on that roster, Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gahn included.
And John Jones as a coach is a wild card, but is also not nothing, right?
Not a very reliable coach, but nevertheless, probably has some skills to share. Dude, Gable Stevenson's going to be UFC champion. It's just a matter of time. I don't know if it'll be 2026, but if not, it'll be 2027. Like it's coming.
All right, Long Island Luke, I say he will have one Dana White Contender Series fight and then debut at the White House. You?
I think he doesn't do Contender Series. I think either he has another like LFA Anthony Pettis fight on the regional scene and then he goes to the UFC, or they give him someone kind of easy in his UFC debut and then they
So here's the thing. They might make him do the Contender Series, not because he needs it, but just to promote Contender Series. We've got
the
Gable
Bo Nickel
Stevenson.
treatment.
Yeah,
Here's
exactly.
No, they kind of punted on that this season, though. They didn't promote any of them. Like years prior, we had Greg Hardy, we had Antonina Shevchenko. You know, we had names.
Oh, yeah, we did.
That we just haven't had that in the last couple
Now
seasons.
she's flying
Well,
to
yeah,
friendly
that's what I'm saying.
skies.
Now they've got one, you know?
Do you think Pavel was the father?
I'm not getting into that.
Okay, let's go to the next question here. From at World's Worst Hero, how brutal of a beating is Jose Young's going to put on BC on Main Card Minutes Prop Quiz Championship? So I won the Gracie versus Hughes Indeed. That's what I've compared it to. Am I up against that? I'm asking you folks. So reminder for Long Island Luke show. I won season 1. Jose Young's won season 2, but set records after records and put it on people. Although Danny Segura, underratedly,
he smoked
in
me.
a super fight against Jose Young's
Danny's got hands.
And then Bane upset Braun. I thought Bronstetter was going to go all the way in that bracket. What are the odds right now? We're filming it this week, are we not, Long Island?
We are. Jose has to be the favorite. Sorry, BC, but I'll put Jose at like minus 250, and you're like a plus 200.
Considering I won a lot of my matchups on vibes, or just playing the rules of the game to my favor, or just, I don't know, getting lucky, Luke, and the fact that Jose Youngs has been dominating, is the Gracie Hughes fight the good comparison, where I'm the old world. I'm the best of the old world style of doing it, but once they figured it out and they brought in a real ringer, here's what I'll say. Put the camera on me before I get Luke's answer, all right? Jose Youngs, I've heard what he said, that I wouldn't have beaten any of those guys that you took out in the bracket. But the thing is, I do believe in miracles. I do believe in upset wins. Seen them. I've been a part of them. I've caused them. I'll play you heads up, provided that Long Island Luke puts in a shot clock and doesn't give you 15 minutes to rack your brain and go through every fight you've ever seen in history and then provide the answer for 500 points. If we're playing under real rules, where we put real recall on the line, the same recall that's slipping every single day I get older, as long as you'll play me straight up like that, don't count them chickens, all right? All right? Because like RFK sexting, the harvest, baby. Like Andre Berto, the harvest.
Dude,
it's coming.
Dude,
okay?
I didn't think RFK could get grosser as a human. And then you read his sexts and you're like, this is the worst. He's Osama bin Laden to me now.
Luke, can I beat Jose Youngs? Have you seen how good he is? Have you? He's great. I mean, respect to Jose Youngs. He's great at this.
I mean, I am not especially impressed by having great knowledge of Apex preliminary card fights, so I've not watched.
It's not just Apex, though. It is like the recall of like, at UFC 178, this guy won the main event, but who was in the co-main event?
This is not a body of knowledge I find very valuable for understanding. But
am I wrong to put up a fight and say, look, the seasons are over. The tournaments are over. This is a super fight. Put on a damn shot clock.
I agree with that.
Powers that be? Can we get one?
Every game show has a shot clock. Every single one.
We'll have a 10-second shot clock that I'll put up if I feel like it's been too long. There's not going to be like 30 seconds each.
You know what you should do? You should play chess, not checkers. He doesn't know when he's going to press that 10-second clock. It could be he'll wait 20 seconds. It could be he waits 45, right? Because the guy can milk it and then get an extra 10.
I know how
what
he plays.
you should do is get some kind of on-screen thing where if he's
Should I text him nude pictures of men while the game's going on?
You can do the dongs you can
Yeah.
do, but what I was thinking was just get some kind of thing on screen, like a flag you can wave that indicates, hey, clock's ticking, fucko. That puts the pressure on him to hit the 10-second.
Hey, one more time.
That's actually a great idea.
One more time, put the camera on me, please. Jose. It was a real battle of youngs versus old. Real battle of youngs versus old. And you thought this was going to be Gracie Hughes part 2. But I want to remind you of another fight that people thought would go a certain way. It was called Tito Ortiz versus Ryan Bader. Don't give me a chance to dig that grave afterward. All right?
You're a masturbator.
By the way, I've had very Tito Ortiz-like speech moments on today's show, have I not?
Yeah, you've had the worst show I've ever seen you have.
All right, thank you very much. Any more of these questions from the people?
No, that's it.
All right, those are your...
All right, I want to see some feces.
Morningcombat@gmail.com is
I
your
left some in that commode.
email address to reach out. Friday fan subs, normally Friday fan subs and dead wrongs. Don't forget that this Friday, Black Friday, we're going to have a special mailbag episode, so send in your video, 60 seconds or less, morningcombat@gmail.com. Every Sunday, I scour the globe, though, for the highs and lows, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the in-between. In the world of combat sports and beyond, in a viral video segment meant to touch unprofessionally the field spots of Luke Thomas and create
Just
real
put the shit on the fucking
emotion.
screen.
Have you seen this shit? Luke, it's UFC Qatar time. Say it, Mariano. The Qatar. The Qatar. Buff and Cluck picks, Luke. This could be us, but you're playing, right?
I fucking hated this.
This is lame.
Stop.
This is cringe.
Stop.
All parties?
First of
all parties, stop.
Stop fucking touching Bruce Buffer.
Yes.
Who, by
yes.
the way, I don't know if anyone's noticed, he no longer wears dress shoes. He now wears sneakers. And I'm sure they're very nice sneakers, and I don't even hate him for it. My dad wore tennis shoes to my fucking
Skechers?
wedding. Some nubbers. It didn't matter.
Oh, what's the new one? Hokas. He's right.
Hokas? He was wearing the Hokas? No, he wasn't wearing Hokas. But, dude, touching him and bringing him to the forehead, I get that you're jazzed.
Who's going to be the first to go like dong to dong with Bruce?
Yeah, get behind him and like,
yeah, rocket.
Stop fucking touching him. Fucking stop. It's so terrible.
Also in Qatar this week, how about pound for pound king Islam Makhachev getting the skyscraper building treatment? Dude, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, he seems nonplussed.
No, he loves it. This is great.
And they put P for P on there?
Brother. Yeah, there you go. I love that. All right, let's keep it going here. UFC debutant Luke Riley.
He got a nice KO.
And he got a $50K bonus on this FaceTime from Hunter.
Welcome to the UFC 50K, baby.
Let's go. Unlike Arman Tsarukyan, who didn't need that 50K, Luke. This could change
the
his
dollar's
life.
weakening, though. I don't know how many pounds that is, but the dollar's weakening.
Also, Mr. Tsarukyan.
The dad.
Did you see his celebration in the Octagon? Let's get a cage side view of this. First, it was let me hug my son. Love to see this moment, right? All father-sons love this Bushido. We love it.
I've never had a moment like that with my dad ever in my life.
But then he's like, yo, Parumpa, come here.
Pahumpa.
Oh! Sidewalk slam, baby. Let's go.
Was that an RKO? I don't know what that was. It looked pretty good.
Hey, Chris Weidman is still my son, all right?
That's still my boy. Once again, never had a moment like that with my father once.
All right, baby, one day. Speaking of Tsarukyan, big weekend for him. He's known for his Instagram eating exploits, and he was eating good after winning in Qatar. This is a camel feast.
I was thinking about this. Let me ask you a question. What is the most exotic animal you've ever eaten? Most gamey, unusual.
Octopus. Not that exotic, right? Octopus.
Yeah, you should never eat octopus. They're super sentient beings. But
I threw up 4 hours later when I did. I haven't. I'm not that.
What about you, Long Island? What's the gamiest food?
I was going to say kangaroo, I guess.
You've had kangaroo?
Yeah, brother.
Hey, he's a son of an Aussie.
What is that like?
Pass the sugar.
Just tastes like chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
I had rattlesnake once.
What did it taste like, Luke?
It was not good. It was almost like the consistency was so shit. It was almost like beef jerky, even though it was not made that way. The way I ate it, it was not. It was. I don't recommend rattlesnake.
Reminds me of Chris Rock, where he's like, "You're eating ass. You know you're eating ass. You're sucking D, man. You know it." I think I botched that, but it was well.
This
done.
is. I'm not kidding. This is the worst MK you've ever had.
I was on a roll until that moment, Luke. Okay. Tsarukyan would top the camel meal on the private plane ride home, Luke, because he's not hard up for money with a little Mickey D's.
That's about the most relatable thing about him. Can I be honest? My man loves McDonald's and he's always going to In-N-Out and ordering 10 burgers.
And last month for his birthday, Aviator sent him this massive cake. Let's see if Celine jumps out, Luke. Is it cake? Is it real? It looks real to me.
Yeah, he's cutting cake though.
Yeah.
He's not cutting TV remotes and window panes.
Yeah. But look at the size of the slice he's putting together. I mean, would you eat that Aviator cake with him? No.
I mean, it looks delicious. I don't know what kind of cake it is, but.
All right. Would you sleep with Celine on top of that cake?
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Get after that. Okay.
Oh, he's got the, you know what? It looks like the frosting on top is that fondant.
Yeah.
I don't like that as much.
Me neither.
Tastes a little off.
Speaking of cake lady, she's back, Luke. Let's check it out this week.
Yeah, here she is, just eating trash. You fucking Billy Goat ass bitch.
You think that's...
Why don't you eat some more trash, you
think that's plastic? It's not, Luke. It's cake.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, just eat that shit. There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you fucking gross ass. Oh, yeah, why don't you eat your ear? Why don't you eat your hair?
She's got to get an OnlyFans now.
Eat your hair.
It's got to happen. Okay, there you go. All right. Speaking of ridiculous things, Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua had the face-off ahead of their big December Netflix bout. Wow.
Bro,
Wow.
He's gonna get fucking killed,
I
right?
know. I don't really understand it anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, you give him the credit. Like, dude, you got balls. You got balls.
Ask Ken and Nadir. What do you think's gonna happen to Jake Paul? What's the casuals' interpretation of this? What do they think?
Can you put Ken on the microphone here, please? Ken,
he doesn't have to. No, we don't have to make him go on.
All right.
What are they saying?
Nadir thinks it's paid off and that Jake is gonna win.
I see a lot of that. And then Ken?
Ken, what do you think? Same thing.
Yeah.
Ken's like, I think I'll be high.
Yeah, they're both high on drugs right now.
Okay. Luke, let's go to the NHL rink.
HR?
Yeah, check out what happened in the front row here, Luke. Check out the lady in the red shirt.
So we got the Avalanche and the Rangers playing.
Oh, boy. Okay, that's a Foley, Luke.
Yes, that lady is marriage material. Just showing some titties that they fight on the glass.
Luke,
By the way, people don't realize this. So who was the guy who maybe got back? Who was that? Sir Mix-a-Lot, right?
Yes.
Do you remember his second hit?
No.
Okay, this is a true story. I didn't know about this.
Did he go back to the well?
He did. And it was called Put 'Em on the Glass. And the whole video was girls with big ass titties putting them on glass and then hold on. And then washing cars. And then it was shot on the inside of the windshield. Put them on the glass, girl.
Luke, we have great sponsors on this show. We have great sponsors on this show. We used to have a great sponsor with some green healthy juice. Is there anything you won't promote, though?
There's a lot of things I turned down.
Okay, condoms?
We've never been offered condoms, have we?
Let's
check. I wouldn't use them.
Let's check in on Zuffa Boxing super prospect Callum Walsh, Luke.
Some men just rub their hands. Callum Walsh rubs them on purpose.
If your hands aren't wrapped right, you're not comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, you're not ready. And if you're not ready, you get knocked out. I've teamed up with Trojan to show how their non-latex GOAT condoms offer comfort outside of the ring, which help me perform inside of the ring. That's why I don't cut corners, not in the gym and definitely not anywhere else.
Callum Walsh chooses the softest and most flexible.
A real fighter goes raw dog. Dude, condoms are terrible.
Those are GOAT condoms there. You got to, like a fighter, you got to wrap and prepare.
Brother, I'm not bringing another animal into my sexual relations with my wife.
So you're saying that goats and sharks aren't compatible?
Just get pregnant. Just,
Okay.
Condoms are terrible.
New segment alert. Is this art or we are? Is art art? I'm going to show you something that could be art. You just tell me. Art or fart, Luke? You ready? This is an art display of Whippet canisters for the holiday season.
Definitely art.
Yes. Let's go to this painting. I wish I could paint like this. I got this Reggie Jackson portrait.
Holy shit, that's art.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to that person there. And then finally, you can bring art to the hibachi table as well, Luke. Is this art?
Okay. He's putting the bean sprouts on the crotch.
Then he put the knife as the dog.
Can I tell you something? I went to Fogo de Chao recently. You been there?
Once in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Hey, you ever been there, Long Island? You ever been to Fogo de Chao?
I think this is probably the 4th time you've asked me this on
Yes.
air. I've never been to this.
Oh no, I've never been to that one. I've been to the what's the
It's not that money. I mean, it's expensive.
Actually, no, I've never been to Fogo de Chao. I've been to Tejas de Brazil, whatever that one is.
I don't know if I've been to that one. Don't they make like cookware? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Dude, the food is like good. It's not bad, but it's not great, and it's just a bunch of it. It's like maybe serve me less food, but actually make it killer rather than making it like decent, but then giving me a shitload of it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Let's go back to an oldie but goodie. Here's Rate That Tat time. I need a 1 to 10 ranking here, Luke. UFC theme. Check out this Bisping tat. Use both eyes if you can.
That's like a Blink 182 Bisping combination with that logo on the top of it.
Rank that shit.
That is an extremely high level tattoo. That's a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, nice. Let's see if we can beat that rating on the next one. One of my favorite movies, Luke. Dune.
Not as interesting to me, but
awesome. Look at the colors.
It's well done. I think conceptually, with the blue stuff smoking out of their eyes, I get it. I've seen the movie. It's a great movie. It's a cool scene at the end there when he beats Non-Rotha, whatever his name was.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but I don't love this tattoo as much.
Oh wow. What's your score?
8.5.
Okay, let's go to our final one involving scissors, Luke.
That's a 10.
I'd love to see the inspiration for this.
That's a 10.
All right, it's Dad of the Year time. Check out this Mets fan and father who protects all the kids from the flying bat.
Yo.
Just Mutombo'd that shit.
Dude, that's a 10 out of 10 dad.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he kept the beer.
Yep. Well done there.
Well done. Very well done.
Speaking of being a dad, never forget what the late Kurt Cobain said about fatherhood.
You like fatherhood?
Vodka? Yes, I love vodka.
That's me on every Friday night. You like being a dad? Oh, sorry, did you say glad to be at the bar?
Yeah. Luke, we'll bring back the Bills Mafia because they love hurting themselves here. Let's watch this fella.
Bills Mafia, the dumbest motherfuckers.
Oh!
You just blocked your ACL!
Well, that's just Darwin Award shit right there.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck Bills Mafia.
Your facial hair of the week. New idea for the Dagestan crew. The throaty. You into that?
Send him to jail, please.
Okay.
Send this motherfucker to jail.
All right. Luke, Barstool's Caleb Presley created the ultimate tag team up here. Did you see this? Watch it.
You have a situation that no one in the world can relate to. You're one of one.
Yeah.
As you move forward into the future, I wish I could be the one to help you, but I can't. There's only one man in the world
Who's that man?
who I think knows what you're going through. I want to introduce you to somebody.
A doctor who can help with weight loss?
A small introduction.
Hasbullah? Assalamu alaikum.
Hasbullah, thank you. Here, you take it from here. He's all yours.
Thank you.
You didn't see the training scenes?
I didn't see any of
them
this.
doing like boxing work in the ring and stuff.
I've not seen any of
Oh
this.
my god, it was what a meetup right there. That is the bringing stars together.
That dude Caleb Presley's funny.
He is. Hasbullah had a huge week though. Watch him throwing knives. Do you know of his marksmanship here?
Are we back to doing Hezbollah content?
Yes, we are. He also squared off with Ali
Dude,
Abdelaziz this week.
This is Ray Flores' moment.
Ray Flores loves
Hezbollah.
Loves him. Here's Ali versus Hasbullah. Good form.
Корпус de brabos goa.
Hey!
Wow. Luke, if we can go into business together one day, I got a great restaurant idea.
Okay. Oral buffet.
Okay, Luke, it's time.
By the way, are they still calling restaurants Oriental?
Yeah, because Oriental is like
The Orient is everything from the Arab world all the way over.
Right, so you can call a rug an Oriental rug. You can call items. I was told by an Asian woman one time when I accidentally said that in like 2001.
But the problem is not so much that it's racist as it's just unclear.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Luke, MMA fighter in the wild time. How about Ethan Ewing going back to the job site in California here? Great stuff.
Fuck yeah, Ethan!
So let me ask you a question. There are complaints that this is poverty porn.
What's up, everybody? I mean, they don't make a lot, Luke.
Well, no, get that off the screen because they'll take it down. Is it poverty porn to celebrate stuff like that?
No, the guy is a hard worker.
No, don't misunderstand me. I am glad to see him celebrated. What I'm saying is the fan base kind of, and all of us do to an extent, like reflexively cheer this kind of stuff. But like when you actually think about it, are you cheering a pay structure that makes this kind of aspirational stuff a little harder to
Are you
enjoy?
saying Dana shouldn't do a series with Netflix about his gambling?
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
probably.
there you
Yeah.
go. All right. Let's continue the theme. Check out CM Punk, former UFC fighter's basketball skills. Luke, what do you think?
That's him?
That is him.
Well, that's the worst shot ever made.
That's not too bad, but it goes from there.
Would
Okay.
he have beaten us when we did our one-on-one?
No, I would crush him one-on-one. Absolutely.
I won
crush
that
him.
one, by the way.
You don't have proof that you beat me in a free throw challenge because
I have eyewitnesses.
You'll never see the footage, apparently.
That's also true.
This is not good. Wow.
Wow, dude,
All right.
this is
yeah.
Man, I can't believe a guy with mechanics this lights out would miss so many times.
Let's keep it going here. Here's Daniel Cormier, who I love some DC.
Okay, well that's inappropriate in the workforce.
Well
I mean,
and how about Mick Tebek Oralball out here?
Oralbai
out here doing a reverse Jed Meshew. Did you see this?
Yes, I have a law degree. I'm a lawyer. I already finished university, but I haven't worked yet. I have a goal right now, and that is to get a UFC title. Once I get my UFC title, then I'm going to pursue my career as a lawyer. Can you imagine your lawyer being like doing fisticuffs like this fucking guy?
Can you imagine your MMA writer being a lawyer, having a law degree and not using it? This is wild here, right? All right, couple more, Luke. You ever wonder what your first sip of beer would be like? How about your first sip of makes you a man?
All right.
You want to try your first sip of Monster?
Sure.
What do you think?
Wow, this makes me want to do construction and beat my girlfriend.
Okay.
The official drink of the Octagon. There you go, Luke.
All right, very good.
Awkward waiter moment. You do have to be careful in restaurants, Luke.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what you do when that happens. Like, how do you follow that? What do you say next?
These sketches are not that interesting.
All right, Luke. Finally, we always had PSAs growing up not to do drugs. You know what I mean? I mean, for a reason. Let's watch this great one.
Think marijuana is harmless?
Yes.
Think again.
Is that a real fucking ad?
Don't do drugs, kids. That's all the shit I got for this week. What do we got?
I've done marijuana a lot. That's never happened.
Not yet, Luke. Yeah.
Where I Fargo myself. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's like a B at least.
That's a B+.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's some good ones
right
in there. That's
Only
a B+.
right here on Morning Combat. All right. You already know about reaching the show, morningcombat@gmail.com. Please jump in. Get ready for our Black Friday special mailbag edition of this show. We're going to record it on Wednesday. Get your video questions, your audio questions in 60 seconds or less. Thank you so much. Reminder about our merch. Our merch, morningcombat.store, November exclusive, still available until they are gone. Mix and match the colors. We have plenty of evergreen items for the holidays. Get an autographed Combat Buddies poster. How about that new dripping red blood carry logo? Get it in hoodie. Get it in t-shirt. Get it all while it's still there at morningcombat.shop. We're going to have a Wednesday to Sunday. Check out the website. We're going to have a big special coming up, so check that out as well. Luke, anything else you want to say here?
Mailbag, morningcombat@gmail.com. Morningcombat@gmail.com. One more reminder. You can text.
Were you not here the last 4 minutes of the show?
I like to double, triple, hammer it home. One more time. You can text, you can do audio clip, you can do a video clip. If you're going to send us a clip, 60 seconds or less. 60 seconds or less, which is how long BC lasted on his wedding night. 60 seconds or less. All right. All right.
Thank you. Anybody else want to give that read? Long Island Luke, thank you for your contributions to the show today. Are you live streaming Thanksgiving by any chance?
No, I was going to do the family Thanksgiving, but
what are you doing to ignore your girlfriend this weekend?
Nothing, because there's no combat sports. So, I'm going to be a good boyfriend this week. We'll have prop quiz on Friday. Other than that, no other content.
You're going to wish me luck in my matchup with Jose Youngs?
I hope you win. But if you are Royce Gracie in this equation, you're about to get your fucking ass beat.
Oh, wow. Okay. Tune in soon. When will that air?
I'm going to do it Friday after our pre-recorded MK.
Oh,
so like
ready.
1:30
Big week for that stuff.
He's using MK as like the lead-in program.
Yeah, for all you great Americans out there, all you patriots, happy Thanksgiving to you this week. For all of our foreign fans, we got nothing for you, but love. Okay, so thank you for joining as well. For the great team in the back, Ken, Nadir, Long Island Luke, Matt Snyder. We love that guy too.
Yeah,
right?
There's like one guy sober in this entire studio.
Yeah, it's great. It's definitely Matt. Unless he broke out the mezcal. He's a big snobby mezcal
he is
guy.
Mezcal guy.
For Luke Thomas, I'm your boy B Sizzle. Thanks for playing. Happy holidays for you. Take care. Enjoy your family time. Food, friends, football, all that good stuff.
Fucking.
Yeah, we out. Yeah. All right.